and functioning with no leaks. Call Omer at the Waterboy Leak Detection today. 818-518-5055. Visit thewaterboyinc.com. That's the Waterboy Leak Detection at 818-518-5055. Talk to Omer. He's going to take good care of you at the Waterboy. Visit thewaterboyinc.com.
Next Gen is the official plumbing, heating, and AC company of SoCal sports fans. For just $14.99 a month, enjoy year-round coverage for all your plumbing, heating, and AC needs. No unexpected timeouts, just total peace of mind. As a Next Gen member, you get complimentary multi-point tune-ups, annual water heater flushes, plumbing safety inspections, and VIP 2-hour priority service. Don't miss out. Call 833-3-NEXGEN today or visit nextgenaaronplumbing.com.
NEXGEN, call 833-3NEXTGEN.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano, and it's Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on for your Monday afternoon.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
Here we go, Monday, a Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Time to celebrate. Sedano was in the house last night for Game 6 of the NLCS. Dodgers are headed to the World Series to play the Yankees. Remember when Sedano was a Yankees fan way back when? That happens Friday, Game 1, as nice guy Dave tries to make it all happen. Meanwhile, Rams-Raiders yesterday at SoFi, and of course, Sedano's got a message for Raider fans. Will it be that the Rams are just a little less bad than the Raiders? Speaking of bad, yeah, USC football. Anyway, let's get to it. The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
A Jerusalem cherry.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah. You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell. Oh, nothing worse than the horse. Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm back in Dayton. You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm?
I mean, look at me. I'm a hot piece of ass. I mean, look at him.
Sedano and Cap, your Monday afternoon right now.
Yeah.
Bing, ba-da-bum.
Yeah.
Doom, ba-da-bum.
Mm-hmm.
Bing, ba-da-bum. That's what the guy was doing to me at the end, Cappy. We did it together, he and I.
Really?
He's like, man, I love when you guys start the show and you go ba ba da ba, and I started doing it with him. Beep ba da boop.
And by the way, so many messages this weekend from people that are watching whatever sporting event it was, and they hear this song
And they think of us.
and they come and right away. We come to mind.
Yeah.
So hey, Glad you guys all contacted us this weekend. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, you name it. We're on it. We're easy to find. And when you hear the song, you'd let us know.
See?
That was very cool, by the way. I loved seeing that video yesterday. I loved that you were at the game. I must admit, I was a little jelly that you were at the game yesterday. You were involved in all that emotion and all that fun and all those fans going crazy.
Yeah.
And so here we go. World Series time. Dodgers and Yankees. Oh, by the way, George, the Lakers tip off tomorrow night.
I know. This is the best time of year.
Right. Middle of the college football season.
Yeah, this is the best
Rams season is going to come back here, now that they've won this first game and they're going to get healthy bodies back. This is so freaking cool, man.
Oh, I love it. It's great. And by the way, the LA Kings, too. Don't forget.
Don't forget about the Kings.
Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff going on. LAFC, too, bro, the playoffs.
Let's not forget about LAFC.
Yeah. So, Cappy, let's start with the Dodgers.
All right.
Considering everything they've been through, right? This pitching staff in tatters, Freddie Freeman gets hurt, like so many things, right? Like so many things have gone wrong for them. Hell, Mookie Betts, remember, Mookie Betts missed a big part of the regular season.
Yeah, like 2 months. Yeah.
Okay? Like all the things, when you add up every little thing that's happened, are you surprised even just a little bit that they're here?
Okay. First reaction, no.
Really?
Okay, why? First of all, look, they did win the division again. They did have the best record again, and they've overcome stuff all year long.
Right, but that's all the stuff in the regular season that we've seen them overcome in the past before. But, the regular season in baseball is a marathon. The postseason is a sprint. And in a short sprint, all it takes is one little, stubbing of your toe, one misstep, and that's it. It's over for you.
Somebody sent me a message today, just back to the original question, are you surprised that the Dodgers are here? My total natural reaction is no, because of everything that went wrong during the year.
Not really.
Right.
Thank you, Sean.
And listen, again, I could probably just start coming up with stuff off the top of my head. Clayton Kershaw never really contributes this year. Walker Buehler, fans are calling for him to never start a game again in September.
Right.
Because things were so bad for him. You mentioned Mookie Betts missed a very large chunk of time during the season. Max Muncy must have missed like 40-plus games at one point during the season.
Right.
They had a hole at shortstop at the beginning of the year, and they had to move Mookie Betts to second to short.
Right. I get all that. And then even one recently with Miguel Rojas. Anyway, yes.
But here's the key. You ready? Here's the key.
Not Keyshawn.
No, not Keyshawn. No. Here's the key.
Right.
When your team goes out and gets the very best player, number one, and then number two, and by the way, he didn't pitch this year. We all know the story there, right? So how much better might they have been? And number two, when you've got a manager who's been there and done that, and by the way, he's lived some highs, a few, but he's lived a lot of lows.
Yeah.
And so now you have the experience of a manager that has shepherded his team through some highs, but through a whole lot of lows. And so to me, postseason experience, even if it's not good experience, plays a big factor in all of this. And George, somebody sent me a message today and they said, you know what happened in game 4? And it was probably even earlier than that. It was game 2, I believe, was it game 2? Which was the game of the Padres-Dodgers at Dodger Stadium where people threw stuff on the field? What game was that?
It was either 1 or 2. Yeah.
Okay, whatever it was. Somebody sent me a message today and said, your Padres, your gutty little Padres, woke up the Giant. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, listen, maybe. Fernando Tatis taunting the crowd. Manny Machado running out of the baseline to, smart baseball. I'm not sure what happened. But I do know this, that it was when it was game 4 and they were in San Diego, and most people, by the way, and I say most people, I mean Dodger fans, thought it's over. They came back. They won that series. They went on. They took on an extremely hot Mets team. They finished that thing off. And now you've got the best World Series of our adult lives. Because the last time the Dodgers and Yankees played in the World Series, I was a little kid.
Yeah, me too.
42 years.
Yeah, I was.
Or 43 or whatever year
I
it
was
is.
5 years old. I don't remember that.
Yeah. But, I mean, I went back and I started looking at the history in the late 70s, early 80s. Yeah. These two teams, I mean, this is the Lakers-Celtics of baseball.
Right, correct. And we finally got it again. And here's the reality of it. I am a bit surprised. I mean, you went. I asked you that question. You went in like 7 minutes. I didn't even get a chance to answer the question myself.
Wait, I haven't asked you. Hold on. Let me ask it to you a second here. George, given everything that's happened to the Dodgers this year, are you surprised they are where they are right now?
The answer is yes.
Oh.
You jackface.
Oh, go ahead.
I
Take
mean,
7 minutes.
I text you this afternoon. I say, hey, we got a lot of things to get to. Let's be tight. And you're like, yeah, for sure. And you went 7 minutes without me, like, actually answering the damn question.
It's a damn good rant if you go back and listen to it.
No, not rackable.
Come on, Copy.
Not rackable?
Not rackable.
Why are you surprised?
I'm surprised because everything has gone wrong for them. And, like, to the point we were talking about, it felt like they were so snake-bitten with injuries and just everything kind of going against them. They couldn't cobble together a starter, for God's sake. They've had to pitch, 4 bullpen games? Like, think about that. That is absurd.
That's management.
Yeah, but it's just also, like, I don't think it's necessarily sustainable, but it has been. And that's what happens in short series. Things that are normally not sustainable can become sustainable.
Well, this goes back to what happened last week when the Dodgers were playing the Mets in Game 2, and you came on the air the next day and said this was a complete mistake by the manager. How dare he start this guy? How dare he use that guy?
Well,
and I said,
right, it was a bad. But again, two things can be true at once.
What are the two things?
He made a mistake there. He had the right idea. He executed it poorly, and they lost.
Right, but hold on. I'll go back and I'll come back to you and say I don't agree with that. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. Not that he was giving up the game, but he knew that this was a 7-game series, not a 5-game series. And he knew that his bats
that's a huge
were enough.
gamble, is what I would say. It worked out. You're playing the result, and that's fine. You can play the result, but it was a huge gamble at the time to put a guy who's never been in a high-pressure situation in an incredibly high-pressure situation, and he floundered in fantastic ways.
But you've got it.
Did you guys see, like, Ken Rosenthal, like, basically said that he gave up those games?
Right.
Like, he said it took incredible discipline from Roberts not to chase those victories.
I get it, but it's still a huge risk, nonetheless.
But it goes back to your original question.
But it was a risk.
But your original question is a good one, which is, are you surprised? And while I understand your answer of yes because of everything that went wrong this year, understand where I'm coming from, which is no, because even with everything that had gone wrong this year, well documented, how did they still do what they did?
Because, again, in the regular season, that's different.
Right, but still, like, think about, there was a time.
My point is, things fell apart for them in the postseason. Like, Lindsay made an astute point early in the first series. Yamamoto looked scared out there. Like, he looks terrified. He didn't look. When he pitched the second time around, you had confidence in him going into that game?
Oh, I don't think anybody did. No, I don't think so.
That's my point.
Right, but but you know what happened? Is Yamamoto, for all the talk of who he was in Japan and for all the money that they paid him and then for the patience that they showed while he was injured and the trust that they had out of pure desperation, oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Yamamoto comes up with an insane performance. And when you start to think about, look, they haven't won the World Series yet, so let's stop breaking our arms, patting ourselves on the back. But here's the thing. If they win this World Series.
Okay, let's do that on the other side.
All right, hold that thought. If they win this World Series.
You do this thing where we try to, you're jumping ahead here, okay? Let's stick to a plan here, okay?
What's the plan?
The plan is we're going to talk about the actual World Series next.
Oh, all right.
But first,
then think about that.
We got to talk about Prize Picks. There's 2 NFL games today. What are you picking in Prize Picks? Prize Picks, Cappy, it's very simple. You pick a player, okay? They got a prop for the player, right? A stat line, more or less. It's as simple as that. You win 100 times your money. And if you want action in the state of California in sports, Prize Picks is the only place. What are we doing tonight?
All right, listen. I made a terrible mistake, and yet somehow I believe it's about to pay off. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
So
kind of like Dave Roberts with Landon Knack?
You might say. I mean, I personally don't think he made a mistake, but that's another story for another segment.
Yeah.
So this past week, I made 3 plays on Prize Picks. Okay, George? Bijan Robinson to rush for more than 64.5 rushing yards.
Right.
He had 103.
Right.
Deshaun Watson to pass for less than 184.5 passing yards.
That worked out for you, unfortunately, for him. Yes.
Right, 128.
Yeah.
Tonight, I've got Ladd McConkey of the Chargers to have less than 52.5 receiving yards.
Ladd McConkey, the kid from the Chargers. Yes, he's a good player from Georgia.
If this happens and I win, the mistake will have been this. These were my picks for last week. So I accidentally played them this week, but they were my exact same picks last week. And so because I'm unorganized and because I'm a terrible
You're just
procrastinator,
going to do it again.
I wound up doing the exact same play. So all I need right now is Ladd McConkey to go for less than 52.5 yards. Now, one other thing.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Anthony Edwards, the free square, right? Half a point tomorrow against the Lakers.
Right.
LeBron's number is 24.5. Should we play Anthony Edwards for the more than half, because that's the free square, and then put it together with LeBron for more or less than 24.5? What do you say?
I'm going to say for the Lakers to have a chance, he's probably going to have to go more.
And I would think first game of the season, national TV, Bronny on the bench, making dad happy. I'm also going to go more.
The King's going to go for more.
So listen, here's what everybody should do, George.
Yeah.
They should download the Prize Picks app. They should use our code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y.
Yeah.
Make a $5 play, get a $50 bonus, win or lose.
$50?
$50, man. What do you think?
It's impressive.
All right. So let's do it, everybody. Download that Prize Picks app. Use our code CAPPY, K-A-P-P-Y. Let's play together. Let's win together, and let's do it on
Prize Picks.
Yes.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap,
Park Party and Play at Hollywood Park Casino. Listen to Travis and DeMarco to win the ultimate game day prize pack. VIP tailgate passes plus game day tickets. Listen to your cue to call and don't miss your chance to win the ultimate game day experience. Park Party and Play with me at Hollywood Park Casino. Must be 21 and older to enter.
Stuff you just put on the cotton pad and rub your face or rub something. And this day back in 1996, the #1 UK song, #1 song of the UK, Spice Girls, Say You'll Be There. Sedano and Kap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Cappy.
It's a new song. It's brand new music.
I mean, it's the Spice Girls, dude. It's like 6,000 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe when they get to the chorus, maybe I'll know it.
No, you definitely won't know.
You don't think so? This was definitely not a song that was playing when I was working at the Chess King in the mid-'80s.
No,
that's for
this
sure.
is definitely way after
This
that.
is like late 90s, early 2000s.
Correct.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You were already like a working man, I believe.
Oh,
at that
yeah.
point.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, this is not the Bengals, that's for sure.
Yeah,
This ain't no walk like an Egyptian, right.
Cappy,
Yep.
Dodgers are in the World Series.
Amazing.
Things are exciting around here. There's no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. Because
Go ahead.
Beginning of the season,
Yep.
right? We're talking like expectations. We said, if I recall correctly, if they get to the World Series in year one with Shohei Ohtani not pitching, and this is when we thought, hey, Clayton Kershaw was going to come back.
Buehler
Walker
would be
Buehler
fine.
was going to come back.
Yep.
Like when we thought all these guys were going to come back, we said if they just get to the World Series, that's good enough for you and me. Now, does that still stand, or do you feel like it's been a successful season no matter what happens here, or do they need to win it? Do they need to at least be competitive? They can't get swept. Like, what are your caveats here now, if there are any?
Okay, well, but just one thing to get to the end result, because I think the conversation was for Dave Roberts to maintain his job.
Right, I said
as
they
manager.
need to get to the World Series.
Right. Okay.
Right. And I said I would be plenty satisfied with that in year one of this experiment.
So let me just say this. I don't think there's any conversation to be had. I mean, if the Yankees swept the Dodgers, which I would find very hard to believe, these two teams are very similar.
Yeah.
I would say that Dave Roberts has done enough in this postseason to more than cement his future as the Dodgers manager. Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
I would agree with it, yes.
Okay. So making it to the World Series, to me, has been enough for Dave Roberts to maintain his job. Why? Because of all the things we've been talking about. It's not Dave Roberts' fault that the Dodgers have something in their organization that they have to do an analysis of in the offseason, which says, why do our frontline starting pitchers always get hurt, blow out their arms, and need Tommy John surgery? Why is that?
I don't know. That is something they do need to look at internally, but let's focus on the World Series at the moment.
Well, I guess my point is, though, is that Dave Roberts is going to
I like,
manage
by the
this
way,
team.
how I kept you on task,
Thank
and
you.
Lindsay and DeAndre both cracked a smile.
Yes.
Because you love a good tangent, Cappy.
The thing about it is that everybody who knocked Dave Roberts,
Your
he
boy.
has, and listen, he is my boy, and I have defended him over and over and over again.
Right.
Dave Roberts,
except against the Padres, like you were okay with him losing there and potentially losing his job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at that
what
point,
some kind of friend you are.
I know, not a good friend, am I?
Yeah.
Not a good friend at all.
Yeah.
But look, he has done a great job in this series. By the way, he's done a great job in this postseason because again, the circumstances were such that he was up what's creek, and he ain't have no paddle. Okay. Dave Roberts has done a phenomenal job. Dave Roberts will remain on as manager of the Dodgers, and Dave Roberts has earned the right to remain on as the Dodgers manager. But when the World Series comes to an end, George, whether the Dodgers win or they lose, we will look back on this season, to your point about are you surprised that they're there? And we will say, look at the moves that were made along the way. I mean, Tommy Edman, this to me is fascinating. For a guy who comes from out of nowhere to now be in the World Series.
Which, by the way, Mason, I forgot to tell you, somebody in our community called you out because you said you didn't even know who Tommy Edman was when he came over from St. Louis.
Look, Tommy Edman, prior to coming to the Dodgers, at least this year, he'd been hurt and not seen or heard from. So when the Dodgers got him, they had to have known that he's on the verge of being healthy enough to play, and then when he does play, he can do a lot of different things for us. Mm-hmm. But did anybody think that he'd be the National League Championship Series MVP?
No.
Did anybody think that Tommy Edman would be finding himself in the 4 spot in the lineup?
No.
You think of a cleanup hitter, George. What do you think of?
I mean, the cleanup, it's not the same as it was.
I understand.
Like
but
now you put your top guys in those first 2 or 3 slots. You know?
Right, but at number 4, you're
still considered a guy that gets hits. Yes, and keeps it moving. No question.
And drives in runs.
Right.
Tommy Edman does not fit the standard bill for what a number 4 hitter would look like in our minds. But give credit to, and I'll give it to Dave. I don't know if it's on his own or if it's upstairs. I really don't know.
The guy had 10 hits in his last 5 games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he deserves the credit.
Oh, he's been spectacular. And don't forget, Tommy Edman was playing center field until Miguel Rojas got hurt, and then he had to
Correct.
switch to shortstop.
Yeah.
So not only was he doing it with his bat, and the home run that he hit last night was from out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of control. I was annoyed because I went to go grab a Dodger dog when that happened, so I saw it on the TV.
You got a Dodger dog when he hit the home run?
Yeah, I got up, I ran up the stairs. I'm like, oh, this is a good time to go real quick. And
you were like Tommy Edmonds up.
It wasn't.
It
was in between innings, and then I was like, oh, it started, and the line was taking a little longer than I thought, and then I'm literally getting to the front, and I'm like, okay, I think I'll be able to get back. So I go to the guy, just give me a Dodger dog and a nacho helmet, and a water, and then of course I say that, and pop, everybody goes ah, and I look at the screen. Of course, he hits a home run.
Yeah, I mean, that is like, again, when this whole thing is over, win or lose, because you get back to the original question, have they done enough now? Are you satisfied? Yeah, I mean, it's been a great year. They've overcome a lot.
Right.
You're here, though.
By the way, again, another 5 minutes before you answered the question.
No, I'm answering along the way. But it's really quite a remarkable thing. But you see, now that you're here and you're in the World Series, you got to win this thing.
Yeah.
And I know, listen, there's a lot of Dodger fans out there. They're like, okay, Cap, come on now. You had the Padres to win. Yes, I did. But here's the thing. Most people who are lifelong Padre fans, they're Dodger haters.
So the question...
I don't fit into that role, just so you know.
No, you're not. You're not. But the question is, do they need to win the World Series?
Do they need to win? No. Right. And the reason they don't need to win is because Ohtani will come back next year and pitch, and they'll actually be better next year than they are right now.
Oh, see, because I think that there's part of me that believes they need to win. It doesn't have to be this year, but they need to win, I think, multiple titles in this Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman era to justify the everything they've put into it, right, financially and whatever costs they've put in, whatever they've traded, whatever equity, etc. Also, and I know Dodger fans don't want to hear this, and I'm not the one saying this, but enough people, even in baseball circles, believe that, hey, yes, they won in 2020, but they won in 60 games.
Yes, a lot of people feel that way.
And by the way, people say that about the Lakers, but I would argue the opposite. The NBA played pretty much the entire season, albeit the last 10 games of the regular season or whatever it was in the bubble. But then the bubble, anyone who was there will tell you that was the hardest, most grueling thing they've ever had to endure. So much so that guys quit and tapped out. So, that's why the Lakers won, to me, I do not take that position. The Dodgers won, I'll at least hear the conversation because it's basically almost a third of the season. I don't believe it, but, I can at least hear your argument on it. The NBA one, I don't. But, so I think for the Dodgers' sake, winning one in a full regular season, full postseason, I think that would go a long way to saying, you know what? It validates everything that they've done, even from that 2020 season and beyond, et cetera, et cetera.
But one thing about this Dodger team that's different from all the previous Dodger teams that have won division titles and have had, postseason failures, and you talk about the 2020 COVID year, which, again, a lot of people do put that asterisk next to it. Here's the difference between this Dodger team and every Dodger team that you're talking about, George, that has preceded them for the last, call it, 10, 11 years. There's one big difference.
Tell me the big difference on the other side.
I'd gladly do that.
All right, so tell us first about Real Fathers' Rights, and then I also want to talk about the disaster that was the Trojans again this weekend.
All right, listen, as far as Real Fathers' Rights goes, look, guys, I've been very forthright. I've been very candid. Probably shouldn't be as much as I am, but I am talking about my own divorce, custody-related issues, financial issues, etc., all things that happen from a divorce, okay? Nobody's divorce is great, believe me when I tell you. Even the best divorces are horrible. But when there are bad divorces, then it's even that much worse. And then guys like me kind of, come on the radio and we start spewing it because we need to, find some friends that can help us out. Nonetheless, here's my point. Mark Real and his team at Real Fathers' Rights, they are here to help you, the guys in particular, okay? They are the father's rights attorneys. So much of the law always seems to favor the female. And ladies, I'm not trying to knock at you. I'm just saying that when you're on this side of the table, it always seems like nobody's looking out for me. See, at Real Fathers' Rights, experts, these guys are all experts in navigating the family court system so that you, the guys, get your happiness and get the justice that you deserve. So, fellas, if you find yourself getting divorced, if you find yourself in the middle of a divorce, if you find yourself after a divorce dealing with family law matters, let's get you in touch with Real Father's Rights. REEL, realfathersrights.com/710. REEL, realfathersrights.com/710. Here's the phone number, 323-870-1611. 323-870-1611. Let's get real with Real Father's Rights, the Father's Rights attorneys.
Don't miss Travis and DeMarco.
It's T-Raj and D-Far.
When was the last time you were on the gas?
The gas?
Yeah, the laughing gas.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah.
Weekdays at 9 a.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Hey, it's Mace. There's a lot on the line in this election, from protecting the Social Security you've earned to supporting family caregivers. And you have the power to make the candidates listen, because voters 50 and over decide elections. That's why AARP California has created an election guide with the most up-to-date information about when, where, and how to vote. Get trusted election information at aarp.org/CA votes. That's aarp.org/CA votes. Paid for by AARP.
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's premier card room. Now open 24/7. Play no-bust blackjack, poker, and more. Enjoy Century Bar and Grill's flavorful menu for lunch or late-night dinners. Watch your favorite teams and catch up with friends on game days. Unwind and enjoy live music and crafted cocktails at Ray's Lounge. Easy parking and access, Hollywood Park Casino, located next door to the Forum and SoFi Stadium. Park, party, and play. Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game.
Must be 21 and older to enter. These are approved DOJ games. Geico 004527. Geico 003871.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforming LAX. That's flylax.com/transforming LAX.
Looking for courtside experience at the comfort of your home? Follow The Lake Show on Instagram. Experience highlights with angles straight from the floor. See your favorite players flex their personalities. Find out what happens behind the scenes through Instagram stories and learn the ins and outs of Lakers basketball. Stay locked in all season long. Tap into Lakers on Instagram now. Let's go, Lake Show.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield, and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
And it is Sedano and Kap your Monday afternoon. Kim Kardashian, happy birthday. She turns 44 today. Judge Judy is 82. And on this day, back in 2022, T-Swizzle. We know how much our listeners love when we play T-Swizzle. Release the single Anti-Hero. Sedano and Kap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
Oh, yeah, Cappy. T-Swizzle. It's a good song.
I feel like by the time I eventually see Taylor Swift in concert, which I don't know if it'll ever happen, but if it does, I'll be so late to the party, you know?
I mean, I don't think great artists ever go out of style, per se. You know what I mean? You can watch them whenever.
But, I feel like I missed it, when my daughter was, really teenage age, right in that 14, 15, 16 range, when she was going to SoFi Stadium on back-to-back nights to see Taylor Swift. And I was like, I'm not going. I should have gone.
You should have gone, Captain.
I should have gone. Didn't go. Should have gone.
Well, too late, Cap.
I know, it is too late.
So, all right, what was this biggest thing that you were going to say? By the way, you're great at teases if you actually teased.
Right. So let me tease real quick. Here's the thing.
Wait, are you teasing or are you paying off the tease?
I'm paying off the tease right now.
Yeah, pay up, biatch.
The By the way, I like very much that you're saying biatch on the air a lot lately, which I like because honestly, like I would call you MLB, and then you'd be like, "What does MLB stand for?" And I would tell you that it's my little biatch. Anyway, here's the thing.
Oh my God, what was that about?
I have no idea, but anyway, go ahead.
MLB, my little biatch.
Oh my God!
What is different about this year's Dodgers than any of the previous division winners, or even the year where they won over 100 games and still didn't win the division because San Francisco did? There's one massive difference in this team than all the rest.
Massive.
Phenomenal. And that's the $700 million man. That's right. That's the $700 million man.
Is Shohei. He's been, listen, we can get into this later. I think he's played well this postseason. Like, he's come up pretty big in big spots. The guy's literally hitting like 800 with runners in scoring position. It's crazy.
And there were question marks before he got to the Dodgers of, yes, he's a great individual player with the Angels, but the Angels don't win. And how is it they could have the two best players on the planet at the time? That was the thinking. And they can't win. And so there were some people that would always knock Ohtani and say, well, but he doesn't win.
Right,
well,
but
now
there's a lot of examples of that in baseball.
Of course there are.
You know?
It's not, listen, more than anything else, an individual cannot affect a team in baseball like they can in other sports, specifically basketball.
Right.
But, again, Ohtani has shown everybody that on the biggest stage, Dodger Stadium, on a team that has expectations of winning a World Series and getting into his first postseason, Ohtani has lived up to the hype. Maybe he hasn't been spectacular.
Oh, I mean, listen, the guy's hitting 286, an on-base percentage of 434, slugging of 500. He's got a 934 OPS. That's pretty damn good.
It is good, but the thing about it is this. The Dodgers, they are not Ohtani dependent. They have a lot of other guys that come up big. Yeah. Will Smith, Tommy Edmonds, Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, guys, other dudes have come up big.
By the way, a 934 on-base percentage, or on-base plus slugging, is just below his career average of 945. Like, it's like he's basically been the guy he's been. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and
he's been the guy he's been is what you're saying.
Right. And what I'm telling you is, what I told you last week, remember when people were overreacting to, he's only hitting 233 or whatever.
He was 0 for 19 with nobody on base in front of him.
I'm like, over a large enough sample size. I use Derek Jeter as the example, right? People love Derek Jeter in the postseason, and it's really because his numbers in the postseason are almost identical to the ones in the regular season. And now he's also had a large enough sample for that to be the case, but Ohtani is pretty much mirroring what his regular season numbers are through one postseason, which is what you want.
Just one little side note here before we get to USC.
Yeah.
You mentioned Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a very, very controversial statement right now. So, DeAndre, keep your finger on the dump button just in case I take it too far.
By the way, you know that the guy who basically puts that show together texted me the other day. Well, I text him. The post-game show on Fox. Remember Greg was ripping the show? Mm-hmm. And I said, no, I love the show. They're a lot like the TNT guys. They do like the fun stuff at the end of the show. Poppy's like their Barkley. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, can you ask him, by the way, if he took the general feedback from the audience about Poppy's hair? And that's what changed
we
it?
didn't. I didn't ask him about the
because
hair.
I noticed that it did get a lot less glossy after
well,
that.
It's
night.
probably the dye probably wore off.
I think they were probably like, I think we need to like matte
less
that
shine
down
on
a little
it.
bit.
Maybe. I don't think he is part of the hair department though.
Okay. Oh no.
I think he just does the technical stuff.
I feel like that was definitely a topic of discussion.
No, I hear you, and he's a big listener to our show, Cappy. As a matter of fact, the next time I have lunch with him, you're coming. Like,
okay,
we're gonna all do it together.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna make a very controversial statement right here.
I text him the other day because at the end of their show on Thursday night, I'm in my hotel room in Berkeley, and I'm watching the end of their game. They were doing the Yankees Cleveland, and they
don't even bring that up to her.
And I know. She said she stopped watching baseball. She told me the story. So anyway, they had like a funny bit where it was in New York. It was the Dodgers, and obviously Betts played with Poppy in Boston, so he's telling Mookie Betts like, hey, man, finish this series up quick so I can get some time off, right? Like, I want some time off. Yep. And then he's like, because I got to San Diego, And then they're like, okay, whatever. So afterwards, they're like, hey, why are you going to San Diego? He's like, not San Diego. I got to go see my son Diego, you idiots. and it was hilarious. And then after they showed, like, at the end of the show, they did this bit of, like, Alex Rodriguez did this commercial when he was young for Speed Stick and looks like the $6 million man, and they're making fun of him. It was hilarious. So I text the guy. I don't want to reveal his name because he probably doesn't want it to be revealed. But I text him. I said, yo, that was hilarious. I don't know what was funnier, the $6 million man bit or Poppy's comment of, not San Diego, my son Diego, you idiot. And he wrote back, and he said, oh, man, appreciate it. Appreciate the note. He's like, thanks for defending us the other day. I was listening.
Yeah.
So
let me
take
just,
that, Berkman.
Yeah,
You'll never work at Fox Sports in your life.
Again. And I'm gonna take it to the next step. And again, what I'm about to say may be considered controversial by some.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to go out on the limb and say it.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter, Big Poppy, and A-Rod, and last night it was my friend Matt Vasgersian. It was not
Right,
Kevin
because
Burkhardt.
Kevin was doing the football game, right?
I'm telling you right now, those three guys, A-Rod, Derek Jeter, and Poppy, they're the best. They're the funniest. They're the most entertaining. I freaking love it.
They're not better than Charles Shack. And
No,
Kenny.
no, that's the controversy.
No.
Yes, they are.
No, I listen.
Yes, they are.
No,
yes, they are. I'm a man on an island.
no,
I'm
no,
all
no,
by
no,
myself.
no.
Nobody's
Listen.
going to agree with me. I'm here to tell you, Big Poppy is the funniest guy on TV in all of sports, and I'm telling you right now,
Big Poppy is
Jeter,
funny.
A-Rod, and Poppy, better.
But there's a longevity to it. You
I
know
understand.
What I'm saying? Like there's
Better.
you can't dethrone the king like that quick. Okay, like no offense. And BSR, who I'll just call him BSR, is my guy at Fox. BSR, as much as he loves his guys, like the fact that we're even I would say this because I've told him that it does remind me of the Turner guys, and he takes that as an incredible compliment because that's the best studio show that's ever existed. Is the Inside the NBA.
I'm just here to tell you that
So
I don't
you
mean
think
to
they're better?
I think they are funnier. I think they're more informative.
I'm going to tell Charles when I see him.
Tell him.
If Charles, are they coming tomorrow? Are they going to be here? Or they may be in Boston because of the ring ceremony. I'm going to text Charles.
Text him.
I'm going to text him right now.
Text him. Tell him. Say, hey, my radio partner thinks you guys are great, but guess what? He thinks the Fox guys are better.
I'm texting Charles right now.
I don't think they're coming here because I feel like
they're going to Boston. They're going to Boston if they're going in. If they're not in Atlanta, they're going to Boston.
What do you think's going to happen when you tattletale on me for telling Charles Barkley that I think Poppy's better? What is he going to do?
No, he won't say anything. He'll just be like, yeah, man, I think Poppy's great.
By the way, you didn't pay off the D's, Cap.
No, I did pay off
No,
the
he did.
tease.
He did it.
The other one, though, about Lincoln Riley.
Oh, yeah, the Lincoln
No,
Riley.
I didn't set that tease up,
Okay.
though.
Yeah, but
In
here's the
general.
thing. Let's do that real quick because Jeff Pass is going to join us in a second. This is like a super tease for after Passan.
Okay.
Lincoln Riley, he's not getting fired, but and I think that would be short-sighted. But I'll tell you this: this has been eye-opening. Okay, what's happened here the last couple weeks, and we'll get into that a little further when we talk more baseball with ESPN MLB insider Jeff Passan in just a few moments. Stick around, 710 ESPN Cappy. We're going to talk to Passan next, but first, tell us about Seller's Advantage.
Okay, so listen, everybody. You decided you want to sell your house for a variety of reasons. Could be that all of a sudden all your kids are out of the house and you no longer need this house and you're like, you know what, time to cash out. Let's take our money and run. You could have a house that perhaps mom and dad left for you and you're still paying property taxes and you don't want to manage that house and you don't want to pay those property taxes. Or you know what, maybe for some people it's just like, hey, you know what, let's move. Let's go try something else. Let's go somewhere else. Whatever your reason is for selling your house, you have your reasons. But you know what Seller's Advantage has? They have one very simple solution for you. And that is they will make you a competitive cash offer for your home. And if you want to take that competitive cash offer, they're going to close very quickly. You don't have to worry about a complicated closing process. You don't have to worry about the house falling out of escrow. All you have to think about is this. I don't have to put any money in. I don't have to clean the carpets. I don't have to paint the walls. I don't have to do any repairs. I don't have to spend any money. They're going to make you a competitive cash offer. And if you like the offer, you sell and the transaction happens real fast. And by the way, they'll give you $10,000 to pack your crap and move out. Let's go. Let's make this thing as fast as possible. So here's what you should do. For a no-obligation offer, just call this number. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747. You got nothing to lose. You might as well give it a try. SellersAdvantage.com, DRE number 01961658.
The most followed sports radio station in America.
710 ESPN.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Accident, or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
The Harim Foundation is inviting you to join us and ESPN Radio at our charity golf tournament, Monday, October 28th at the San Gabriel Country Club, to raise funds for scholarships. To date, we've given $138,000 in assistance, and we want to give more. Go to harimfoundation.org and click the banner at the top. Join the likes of Nomar, Sean Green, Mickey Hatcher, and others. Tune in to ESPN 710 for all the fun on the 28th. harimfoundation.org and click the banner at the top. See you there.
NBA basketball is one day away, and the best place to watch and enjoy all the action is Cosm. It's revolutionary technology bringing the sports experience to life. Visit Cosm.com. Enjoy NBA action in shared reality all season long.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Every weekday morning at 9 a.m.
What would you have done, say you're getting ready to take a nap at and there's a snake in the doctor's
I would
dugout?
freak out. If it's me and I see a snake, I'm going to freak out. I don't like snakes.
Yeah.
I hate snakes, and my oldest daughter has 2 pet snakes.
Oh, like
yeah. One of them's name
pythons?
One of them's name is Udon.
Like the noodle?
Like the noodle.
It's Trav and D-Farr.
Back tomorrow morning after Greeny on LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Just the 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Linz. I know Jeff Passan is going to join us in a sec.
Well, that's what you need to know is that Jeff Passan is on the line.
Jeff Passan, the wet blanket, raining on parades, harsh and buzzes all day.
They're going to have bad years coming up.
Jeff Passan, the wet blanket.
Well, as you see, Jeff Passan, ESPN MLB insider, friend of the program. We're not super creative, but we're good at stealing stuff, as you see.
Yeah, we don't care.
I was going to say, did you pay for that?
Nah, but, send the cease and desist. What do I care?
Ripped it off. We don't care.
Fair use. Fair use.
We don't care. We just don't even care about it. We'll just hack somebody's stuff.
Yeah,
we don't care.
Just send me the cease and desist, and then we'll stop playing it.
Right.
But until then, I'm taking it.
Do whatever you want.
You guys are like the aggregators online who steal all my stuff and pass it off as their own. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. Listen, trust me. Well, the good thing is I have you on alerts. You know what I'm saying? So I get the real deal when it comes out immediately. Although I do find it funny every once in a while when you send a reply to somebody and I get an alert for it. And I'm like, wait, what? What is it? And then I'm like, oh, he's replying to somebody.
Yes, and I love the fact that replies come up because generally speaking, my replies are used only for insults.
Yeah, and fun. Right, they're very funny usually. Yes, I would agree.
And so on people's phone, it will just pop up and it'll say Jeff Passan, and underneath it'll be like, "You're a moron." Well, thanks, Jeff. You're a turd too. Appreciate that.
All right, so Jeff, jump right into the conversation George and I are just having. The conversation goes like this. Are you surprised that the Dodgers are where they are, given everything that happened during the year? It's a yes or no, and then go off whichever direction. What do you say?
No, because I think from the beginning, despite all of the pitching injuries, they've had a lineup that's capable of doing what it's done during the postseason. And what's been the most incredible part to me is that this has been like a true team effort by them, right? With the Yankees, you look at Soto and you look at Judge and you hope that you get like one more guy. And they have. Giancarlo Stanton's been great. Gleyber Torres has been good. And Anthony Volpe's getting on base. With the Dodgers, though, I mean, my goodness. You expect it out of Ohtani. You expect it out of Betts. But the best hitter, just in terms of like weighted on base for the Dodgers this postseason, has been Max Muncy. And Kike Hernandez doing his thing, and Tommy Edman winning NLCS MVP, and Andy Pages having a 2-homer game, and Teoscar Hernandez in the Padres series, and Will Smith looking like he's about to turn things on. And they're doing all of this, guys, without Freddie Freeman. Like, ostensibly, that's where we're at this point.
Yeah.
For the Dodgers to be where they are, did I anticipate they were going to go to the World Series? I did not pick them. If somebody suggested the Dodgers are going to the World Series, would I have called them crazy? No, of course not. But to do so in this fashion, as dominant as they've looked, that I did not see coming.
All right, so now they face off against the Yankees, and everybody gets the matchup everyone's wanted, right? East Coast, West Coast, one market versus two market, blah, blah, blah. The history of the 70s and 80s with these teams, all that stuff. But from a Dodgers perspective, now you're facing a team that, honestly, at least offensively, is somewhat similar to you. Like, they take a lot of pitches. The top of their lineup is incredibly dangerous. I feel like this is like It's. I think it's appropriate that this is the quote unquote final boss, right, for the Dodgers, because you're basically looking at yourself in a mirror, at least in some ways. Agree or disagree?
Completely agree. And I think, the odds have the Dodgers as favorites. To me, this is a toss-up of a series. And I still, I'm staring at the Google Doc that I have to fill in my World Series pick. And I don't want to fill it out because I don't know who's going to win. And I'm reaching out to people all across baseball, like, who do you think is going to win this series? Because I want somebody to make an argument that convinces me one way or another. Let's look at the Dodgers' strength. Their lineup is really, really good. And their bullpen, I think, is a lot deeper than the Yankees is. But I have real questions about their starting pitching. Jack Flaherty was brilliant in Game 2, and then he came back on full rest, and it was struggle city there. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto was really good when he was out there, but it's limited. And Walker Buehler was pretty darn good out there, certainly as close as we've seen to playoff Walker Buehler of the past, but it was only for 4 innings, and it puts a huge onus on Blake Trinan and on Michael Kopech and on Daniel Hudson and on all the relievers who were throwing high leverage innings for the Dodgers to sustain that against a lineup that is a lot better than the ones that they have faced so far. And they faced some pretty good ones in the Padres and the Mets, but Judge, Soto, Stanton, Torres, on and on, it's a different story. On the other hand, the Yankees, as I said, they can hit, and they're gonna work walks. And I think the Dodgers are more susceptible, A, to walking guys, but B, the one thing that the Dodgers don't have that the Yankees do is strikeout pitching. And if there's anything I can see as a distinct advantage in this series, it's going to be the Dodgers' inability to strike guys out as they have in recent seasons versus the Yankees' ability to put the bat on the ball, which they've done to a tremendous effect in this postseason so far. And so that to me, if Dodgers pitchers strike out Yankees hitters at a higher rate than they have been doing this postseason, I think the Dodgers win the World Series. That to me is the biggest X factor of all.
Hey, Jeff, the conversation going into this postseason, and really was the conversation we were having all year, was what will Dave Roberts be at the end of this year? Just if you could, what do you make of Roberts and the way he's managed thus far? And I know I do. Do you think that Dave Roberts has done enough to validate why he should remain on as manager of the Dodgers?
I have a difficult time believing that Dave Roberts, after taking the Dodgers to a World Series, will not be the Los Angeles Dodgers manager next year. Weirder things have happened, so I acknowledge that and I recognize that. And like all managers, Dave Roberts has his flaws, but I think for the most part, he's done a really good job this postseason. And we have to recognize, not just with Roberts, it's with Aaron Boone as well. There's a lot of conversation and discussion about the right moves to make in the moment. And in past years, when faced with that, Dave Roberts hasn't always gone the right way. But I think strategically this postseason, he's done a really good job. And I think the fact that we are, guys, how many games into the postseason for the Dodgers at this point? 11?
Let's see.
5 and 6. Yes, 11.
Six, yeah, okay.
Yeah, carry the 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
11 games into this postseason, right? And how many of those have been bullpen games for the Dodgers? 3?
At least, I was going to say 3, 4.
It could have been maybe 4 even. But either way, a lot. Yeah, a good number.
Yeah,
A third, let's call it.
I think Flaherty's got 3 starts. I think Yamamoto's got 3 starts, and I think Buehler's got 2 starts. The fact that they've had 3 bullpen games, and that they have not had to lean on any reliever for more than 6 games at this point tells me that, hey, he's doing a pretty good job of not running into familiarity penalty territory. And that's going to be a real fear for both teams, guys, over this series. The more you see a relief pitcher, the more comfortable as a hitter you are against him. That's just a fact. It's a fact that there are some people in baseball who believe it's even worse than the penalty for the 3rd time through the order that has caused so many starters to get yanked early. But the truth is, like, Dodgers relief pitchers have thrown more innings this postseason than Dodgers starters, and that's a wild thing to consider. But it's where they are, and it's how they've had to get here. And I think we're going to get a real answer to this question: can you win a World Series with a slapdash pitching staff? Because that's where the Dodgers are at right now. I mean, there are 8 guys who would be major league starters on any other team right now. 8 guys. Sorry, not any other team. A couple of the guys wouldn't be 1 in Seattle. But everybody else, 1 through 5, Shohei Ohtani would pitch for him. Clayton Kershaw would pitch for him. Gavin Stone would pitch for him. River Ryan would pitch for him. Dustin May, Emmett Sheehan. You can go on and on. Like that's how much talent they've lost. And they are still here. And that's a really, really impressive thing. Not just to do, but to look at from a 30,000-foot view of the organizational depth that the Dodgers have. Like, that's wild. That 10 guys who started the year in your organization have been effective big league starters, and the one additional one who they have now, Shaq Flaherty.
Jeff Passan, ESPN MLB insider, friend of the program. Enjoy it while you're here for a couple of days. It's going to be fun. Everybody's excited. Ticket prices are insane. But I think everyone is really going to enjoy this. It could be as higher rated World Series as we've seen in a really, really long time. But, Jeff, you're the best, buddy. Thank you for the time as always.
Gentlemen, always appreciate you. Have a good one.
See ya. There he is.
I'm going to tweet him so that he can tweet me something snarky so that it pulls up on my phone and it just says, Jeff Passan, you're a moron.
Yeah, we should have said that to him. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, next time he comes on, we'll work on that.
By the way, one thing that we talked about just now, and that was the Dave Roberts situation.
Yeah.
Which leads us to something we brought up during Super Crosstalk that I do think deserves like about 30 seconds of time coming up. We need to discuss this with everybody, George. What's in the box?
Oh, what's in the box? Yeah, we'll do what's in the box. We'll also do why the Trojans are terrible in the fourth quarter. Rams, Raiders. We got a lot to pack in the next segment, Cappy. But first, let me tell you, I went back to my home away from home, and boy, will I be there a ton here over the next couple of weeks. LAX, where changes are arriving daily to reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the traveler experience. The LAX economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, Cappy, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding. Who doesn't want to get to their flight faster, man? And a new facility will have all the major rental car brands under one roof. It's right. It's been built. They're putting the final touches on it. It is going to be beautiful. And in the future, the People Mover train will connect all travelers to LA Metro, so you can take the Metro station to the Century station right there outside the airport. Then the People Mover train will take you to your terminal. Boom, you're good to go. All right, so for more information, check out their website, flylax.com. For more info, that's flylax.com.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand.
Hey, it's Travis with Prize Picks. Did you know that you can win up to 100 times your money with Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks? That's right. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. And Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. So why not join 10 million users and sign up today? Prize Picks, puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. So when my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. This week on Prize Picks, I'm looking at football. Patrick Mahomes, more than 267.5 passing yards, and Saquon Barkley for more than 67.5 rushing yards. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code 710 to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's right. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Decisions determine results. So which path do I want to take? Help people in need, or stand on the sidelines watching? Worry about how to pay for school, or have my education paid for? Push myself and learn new skills, or stay the same? My decision is to serve part-time with the Army National Guard, and my results will be life-changing. What will you decide? Go to NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters.
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison this Thursday, October 24th, for their live Rams postgame show from Ray's Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and party with Travis, Kirk, and ESPN LA fans. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Enjoy a postgame meal and drink at Ray's Lounge right after the game. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game. Must be 21 and older.
Hey, what up? It's Matt Barnes here. If you're looking for the best possible results after an accident, call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Pernia Law.
For me, it's about getting the top result and the top value for your claim. Even if you didn't have insurance during the accident, Uncle Artie will still help you. I'm sure a lot of you out there got turned back from attorneys when you said, I don't have insurance. Well, guess what? Uncle Artie can still help you. It does not matter. Give us a call. You have nothing to lose. We take the case on a contingency. You don't pay up front.
Uncle Artie's not just my friend, but he's your uncle in the business. Artie Pernia is a seasoned personal injury attorney who works with you, so you receive the best possible compensation for your case. Let Uncle Artie and the Pernia Law family provide peace of mind, so you can focus on your recovery.
Trust us, trust Uncle.
When you're looking for the best possible results after an accident, call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Pernia Law, 844-DIAL-UNC. That's 844-DIAL-UNC.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
And it is Sedano Kap, your Monday afternoon on Michelob Ultra Reaction Monday. If you're listening to the first hour, you heard Cappy give us insight, baseball insight, that the only difference between this Dodgers team and all the others is Shohei Ohtani. More insight like that coming up this hour, maybe. And wow. Play some Back to the Future music. How about some Huey Lewis in the news? On this day in 2015, of course it's fictional, but Marty McFly and Doc Brown traveled forward in time from 1985 to 2015 in Back to the Future Part 2, made in 1989. And yes, we give you that note so we can play Huey Lewis in the news. Sedano and Kap continues your Monday afternoon right now.
Wow, Chris went back in time there and took a swing at you, Cappy, before Live Imaging Tuesday tomorrow.
I'm catching a lot of strays today, and I can handle it. But it's true.
I think what his point is, it's kind of like, okay, thanks, Captain Obvious. Yeah, the guy who's the highest paid guy in the sport is the biggest difference.
But it comes down
How about
to
this? How about this? A big difference for this team is that the guys at the top of the lineup are hitting, and they weren't hitting in the previous series, and they've got other key contributors, whereas last year, the last 2 seasons really, the lineup, the bats went dead and silent in the postseason, whereas, the guys at the top of the lineup are hitting, and they're getting contributions from unlikely guys, right? Tommy Edman is here. You mentioned him. Kike Hernandez is back, and I think that's helped them in a big way.
Max Muncy getting on base seemingly every time he's in the batter's box.
Right. Like, I think those are big differences. I mean,
right. But what I'm saying,
I kind of see Chris's point a little bit.
No. But then the question was, because you got to understand, this is now taken out of context. That's okay. I can handle it. The question was, are you surprised? And now both me and another very smart baseball man, Jeff Passan, both have said the same answer. No. Why are we not surprised? Because the Dodgers have been doing this all year. They've faced adversity all year. And by the way, the difference between this year's team and teams past is they now have the best player. Not something they had.
Yeah, but I would also say that,
Jeff Passan and I both really get baseball really, really well?
No.
And you don't understand baseball at all? Is that what you're going to say?
I would say reasonable people can disagree.
Oh.
And then I would also say that, yes, that's just fairly Captain Obvious stuff that Ohtani is on the team. Yes.
I didn't know that. I just found out.
Yeah.
So for me, that's new information.
But, to me, it's that. It's just that, again, Mookie and Freddie, their bats were silent last postseason. Like, they couldn't get a hit.
That's right. And by the way, don't forget the way Mookie started off this postseason.
Right, not
everybody
great.
was writing him off like, oh, man,
right.
Mookie's terrible.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he broke out. Remember, he had that first game where Profar stole that home run from him. And then the first game down in San Diego, he hit it to the exact same place, and Profar had his glove on it, and Profar doesn't make the catch this time, and that breaks Mookie out. How's that? Was that obvious for you?
Oh, wow.
Christopher?
Look at you.
But you see, but wait, just mentioning Christopher, it's important that you and I just mentioned this.
Wait, real quick, before you mention what's in the box.
Yeah.
Okay. Beto and Whittier, who we love.
What does he say?
Tweeted me after what Passan said about, one of the most important factors is striking guys out in this series. So he says, let me get this straight. If one team strikes out the other more than the other one does, that team likely will win. Genius. And what I wrote to him was, well, considering how well both these teams take pitches, the Yankees and the Dodgers are great at seeing pitches, it's not as easy as you think to strike these guys out. To then what he responds, he's like, I understand the concept, but isn't that always the goal? Get the other guys out in much easier fashion, so maybe the outs don't always need to be strikeouts. A few loud outs will suffice. Yes and no, because if you're getting contact on the ball, that means it's more likely potentially to get down. You know what I mean? Like, you want swings and misses, okay? That's what you want. Carlos Rodon, who pitches for the Yankees, in his first outing, he got bombed. Okay? In his second outing, he had 25 swings and misses, and that was a huge key for the Yankees winning. Again, it's the concept of Walker Buehler, right? In his last outing.
Same exact thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, swings and misses are a big, big deal, because if you're making contact with the ball, there is a chance that thing can go and take a crazy turn, and it can get down and all. Like, you don't want guys making contact with the ball. That, I know that sounds like, it seems like, it should just be an out is an out is an out. No, an out is not necessarily an out. If you get contact on the ball, there's a chance at the very least that they're gonna get a hit. So you don't want them to make contact.
Just by the way, Walker Buehler in the first start of the series against the Padres, I think the stat was that he only had 4 swing and misses.
Right.
And in the second start that he had in the postseason, I want to say that number jumped up to somewhere in the neighborhood of like 20-ish.
Yeah.
Swings and misses. I don't remember the exact number.
Well, I don't think it was 20, but it was a lot more, yes.
The point is, it was a hell of a lot more than 4.
Correct. No question about it. All right, real quick. Let's do tell us in the box, because we still have to we haven't done any of the football stuff.
All right, I'm going to make this very quick, okay? All I'm going to say is
I doubt that, but let's
No,
see.
I'm going to make it very quick. Yeah. There was a package that was delivered to 710 today.
Yeah.
It was addressed to George Sedano.
It was addressed to me, yes.
Have you picked up the package?
Package is in our possession, in the group's possession. It's actually sitting right next to Lindsay.
Okay, you have possession. That's good news.
I don't. Lindsay does, but nonetheless, yeah.
But the bottom
line is
Better to
Lindsay to have it at this point.
But the bottom line is this. Lindsay's holding it up right now for everybody to see on YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't know what's in there. We know what's in there, but we're not going to tell you. But I'll just say this right now.
Tomorrow we will unveil one of the two things that's in the box.
That is exactly right. We have to wait for Chris, Mr. Big Mouth, Mr. Funny Guy, Mr. Bitmaster, Mr. Captain Obvious. We gotta wait for Chris. But then tomorrow it is on, just so you know.
Okay, fair enough.
That's it.
All right, Cappy. The Trojans blew another big lead in the fourth quarter, man. Like, I get this team is young. I get it. We talked about this last week. Glass half full. You know, we talked about it with Sean Cody. We talked about, who else did we have on last week to talk college football?
Yogi Roth.
Yogi Roth. Right. I get they're young. But here's the thing. You lose to Michigan, no big deal. In the big house, even though Michigan's not that great this year, I get it. It's on the road. It's the big house. It's early in the season. No big deal.
First time ever there, et cetera, et
You
cetera.
lose to Penn State. Penn State's a playoff team, okay? Like, I get it. Like, it's fine.
Still should have won the game.
Sure, agreed. Minnesota, on the road.
No, bad loss.
Not a good loss. Maryland at home, that's a bad loss.
Maryland on the road. They were at Maryland.
Oh, I'm sorry. At Maryland on the road, bad loss. Either way, Maryland, a very average team.
Yep.
Okay? So what I would say is, yes, glass half full, this team is young, and they should be better next year, and you lose close games. Look, I'll give you a perfect example. The University of Miami lost a ton of close games last year and finished 7-5. And now this year they're undefeated right now. Now they also made, they also have a quarterback who's a Heisman Trophy winner potentially, along with Shedeur Sanders, like in Travis Hunter. He's like on the short list. But like my point is, teams, we've seen this before in college. The year before, teams that lose close games, the next year they find a way to win. As a matter of fact, there's a team that's also undefeated in the Big 12. Iowa State is in a very similar scenario. Okay, lost a lot of tight games last year. So I think that can translate. However, in the day and age of NIL and the day and age of the transfer portal, my question is, can Lincoln Riley keep that young talent here? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and can he go out and get other young talent?
Correct.
Right? And maybe
add.
not so young.
Right.
Maybe guys with a little more experience.
Correct.
Here's the issue, though, George, really. You and me, and probably everybody who's tuning in right now, we rarely, if ever, see Maryland. We don't know of Maryland ever being good. I mean, when was the last time Maryland was, like, good? For real. And I mean, like,
Ralph Friedgen was the head coach.
Oh, good God. Yeah. Ralph Friedgen. I mean, we must be talking 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, right? I mean, name for me a big-time star quarterback out of Maryland.
Well, they had Tua's brother, who was a good college quarterback.
No, but I'm talking about like a guy who becomes an NFL player, and Boomer Esiason.
I mean, he's the best player, the best quarterback.
What I'm getting at is this: we all look at Maryland, and by the way, many of us don't even think of Maryland as being a Big Ten team because previously
they were an
ACC team
for a long time. Right,
so they were a bad ACC team. They're a bad Big Ten team, and you know what? They beat USC, and here was the worst part of the entire beating.
Yeah.
And when I say beating, I mean it was a 1-point game. But when the students from Maryland rushed the field after the game, excuse me, can I ask everybody a quick question? What was USC ranked going into this game?
Unranked.
Oh, really? Because I would have thought that it was like Vanderbilt beating Alabama. But that goes to the point. Maryland stinks. Their student body knows they stink, and beating USC doesn't mean anything other than they beat a big branded school. I mean, when they rushed the field, I was laughing at these kids going, what did you guys just accomplish? You beat a 3-3 team that's now 3-4.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really embarrassing and kind of upsetting when a reporter asked him at the end of the game, like, hey, man, like, why, like, how come, like, why are you guys are struggling? And, at the end of the game. And he says, I don't know. Like, you watch film, you know the mistakes that you guys are making towards the end of the games, correct? Like, how do you not know, like, to not close out games?
Yeah, I think that's like an answer just deflecting, right? Like, I think he knows some of the answers. He may not want to run the kids under the bus, right? Like, I think that could be part of it. Or also, it could be he doesn't want to put the blame on himself. I mean, well, I wouldn't say that because he has said it starts and ends with me. He did that last week, so I don't want to take that away.
That's just talk.
No,
That's
I get it,
talk.
but it is true in some cases.
It is, but it's just coach talk. And listen, here's the bottom line. USC loses this game to a team that the previous week lost to Indiana. Now, hold on a second. Indiana, respect. They're undefeated.
Oh, dude, Indiana's good.
Right.
Like, they will, I mean, so James Madison, like, that's their coach from last year that won 11 games or whatever. Like, that guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah. And by the way, previous to that, last week, they lost to Northwestern. So, listen, they're not a good team, Maryland. But here's the worst part of it. Neither is USC.
Right.
We thought USC was good,
yeah.
and the only reason we thought they were good is because they beat LSU.
Who's good?
Yeah, but they beat them in week 1 when you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like they blew him out.
Yeah.
So,
you're right, and that's fine. I think there's a good team in there somewhere with USC, except they just keep blowing fourth quarter leads. But we can continue that conversation after Radio Tinder. And Raider fan, I haven't forgotten about you. Okay, I'm just letting you know. But first, Cappy, tell us about your friend Avner Gatt.
Oh, George, you got to hear this story. So I get a message today from Avner Gatt, and Avner and I only talk on WhatsApp. We don't text. We talk on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So Avner sends me a video, a 1 minute and 13-second video in his office, and he's got a gentleman in his office, and the gentleman's name is Ray, and Ray is like a manager at the Chase Bank in Woodland Hills. Mm-hmm. And Ray is a huge Sedano and Kap fan.
Nice.
And Ray called Avner and said, Avner, I must meet with you immediately. It's urgent. So Ray from the Chase Bank in Woodland Hills showed up in Avner's office because he said he had an emergency, and he's a huge Sedano and Kap fan, and he called in to Avner and said, okay, I need to meet with you. Now, Avner, as you know, George, loves to give out gifts to everybody, and he gave Ray one of those Avner Gatt phone chargers. And so now Ray's got one, and at the very end of the video, you know what Ray says?
What?
Hello! Completely unsolicited.
That's great.
Hey, listen, I had a call yesterday from a friend of mine. He said, hey, what's the guy's name on the show that does all the things when you have a big leak in your house? I said, Avner Gatt, avnergatt.com. These friends of mine were away for the weekend. They came home, massive, massive leak in their house, big, giant disaster. And my friend says to me, I got to call my homeowner's insurance company. I said, no, don't do that. First call Avner Gatt. So I got on the phone yesterday with Avner and connected Avner to this friend of mine because he had a huge leak. Could be a leak, could be theft, could be fire, could be damage from an earthquake, God forbid. It could be some tree falls from behind your house and does a ton of damage. Listen, you don't deal with the insurance company. Avner Gatt deals with the insurance company. That's what he does. He's an expert. He's been at it forever. You're not, and you have not. So call Avner Gatt when you have an emergency and you think you have a homeowner's insurance claim. Avner gets you your money. 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256. The website, Avner, A-V-N-E-R, avnergatt.com. You call, he answers. As Ray found out, he says, hello.
Park Party and Play at Hollywood Park Casino. Listen to Travis and DeMarco to win the ultimate game day prize pack. VIP tailgate passes plus game day tickets. Listen to your cue to call and don't miss your chance to win the ultimate game day experience. Park Party and Play with me at Hollywood Park Casino. Must be 21 and older to enter.
1-877 Cards for Kids. K-A-R-S Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Cars for Kids.
Gear up and get out to Kelsey's at Pechanga, the top spot in the Temecula Valley to watch all the Monday Night Football action. Dozens of TVs means all your favorite games, plus a M&F food menu fit for the greatest fans. Sliders, loaded tater tots, pulled pork pizza, and a lot more. Plus, you'll find beers on tap and incredible craft cocktails at Kelsey's. Visit Pechanga.com and follow at Pechanga Casino on Instagram for info about special and exclusive NFL team appearances. We'll see you at Kelsey's at Pechanga.
Hey guys, it's Cappy. You've heard me talk about my personal situation with my divorce and subsequent custody battle in the past, and I know that you need a team behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL, realfathersrights.com/710, or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights, the Father's Rights Attorneys.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installation with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
And it is Sedano and Kap your Monday afternoon. Radio Tinder time. We like to play a TV theme or wrestling. Yesterday, October 20th, the legend, the bad guy. Happy birthday yesterday, Scott Hall, of course known as Razor Ramon. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, our friends at Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Founded in the city of Downey, just like me. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon.
R.I.P. Great song.
R.I.P. is right.
Great song, though. Great wrestler. All right, guys. So we've been talking, obviously, about the World Series all day. And you briefly mentioned the tickets. And just a little update on the ticket prices since the Dodgers clinched last night. Game 1, get-in prices. Yankees at Dodgers. It's going to cost you just over $1,000. $1,015.
Crazy.
Game
These
2.
are on the secondary market, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and that's
Yes,
just
'cause they're
get
all
in.
sold out, yeah.
Right.
Game 2, $1,070. And then once they go to New York, like the cheapest you're getting in is for like $1,200 right now.
Dude, the seats yesterday that I was willing to pay for were $350 on the secondary market.
Really?
That's not bad. That's not bad.
And field level.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's actually
Section
not
40,
bad.
which is like right between first base, like in the middle between first base and the outfield wall.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, what's the most you've ever paid for a ticket for a sporting event?
The most, probably the Sphere. It's not a sporting event, but that's the most I've ever paid for a single ticket for anything.
How much
was
was
that ticket?
Once all the fees and stuff was probably like $600 or $700 a piece.
Oy vey.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Damn.
But that was also at the height of it all.
Yeah. But I hate King for the Sphere. I mean, I just had to hate King.
Right. You hate King. Well, Rachel hate King the Edge for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Rachel hate King the Edge, and then the Edge came through.
Yeah.
I will tell you, Lindsay, that 2 years ago, the Dodgers were playing the Padres, and that was that Saturday night game where the Padres upset and shocked the world, beat the Dodgers that night. I paid face value, got them from the team. Well, so $666. And by the way, people are going to listen to that and they're going to go, not.
Yeah, because back when my were in the I bought like 4 of for game 6 because if they're going to clinch, we want to watch it together. Sold my tickets, and I got $1,800 for a pair of tickets.
Wow.
And I
Good for
paid
you.
like $120, I think, per ticket. So that was pretty crazy.
Wow.
But the most I think I've spent
wow.
though was probably like $250 maybe per ticket. Not a lot. DeAndre, what about you?
The most I spent was around $400 for Eagles and Cardinals game out in
Dang.
Arizona. Yeah, $400 right by the right
In
the end
Arizona,
zone.
huh?
Yeah, we're right by the end zone.
NFL tickets are expensive. I take that back. The most I spent were the Browns Rams tickets. Those were like $350 ish. Yeah. But yeah, so if you want to go to those games, it's going to be expensive. Next one here. So
I mean, I don't know, man. George, real quick, are you thinking about going to any of these?
No,
World
because
Series games?
all the games are going to be here. Will be Friday or Saturday. I'll be away.
Yeah. So this Friday, Saturday, yeah.
Although
out
I
and
will
out.
say this, there is a possibility that I'm in New York on Halloween. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because it just depends on if I can make the Around the Horn Halloween show this year, and if that's the case, maybe I go and watch them play out there.
Yeah, I got a bunch of buddies of mine that are all New Yorkers, all Yankee fans, and they're all like, and
we're gonna come out there and see the World Series.
No, you know what they said? They sent me a picture of the three of them. I think last time the Yankees were in the World Series, and the three of these guys they took a picture of Yankee Stadium. They're like, Cap, let's go. We need you out here. So they're like, come on, get out here for a Dodgers-Yankees game. I just don't think I can pull it off, man. I don't think I can get out there.
Yeah, if it was
for it.
Padres, you'd be there.
Maybe. Yeah. But you know, I don't know. At least I'd go. It's just the calendar. It's not really who's playing.
Yeah. Real quick, by the way, Radio Tinder is brought to you by our friends at Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Award-winning small batch premium sippy tequila made from the finest mature agaves. Available everywhere fine tequilas are sold. Visit their website, tequilamandala.com, and demand the extraordinary, Cappy, with Tequila Mandala.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if you were anything like me and you were baseballed out yesterday because you had a sad weekend, crushing defeat, you watched the Jets-Steelers game last night on Sunday Night Football. It was actually a really, really good game. I watched it because I wanted to see what was going to happen with the quarterback situation with the Steelers, and plus Aaron Rodgers. That's always a treat. And seeing what's going to happen with him and his new being reunited with Devontae Adams, right?
He stinks.
So...
Thank
You're
goodness.
right.
Thank
he
goodness.
Stunk.
By the way, you were the one like week 2, like, oh, he looks like Aaron Rodgers again.
He did.
Oh.
He did.
You did say that.
And I
He
told
did.
you he's washed.
He did. He did look like Aaron Rodgers
for a week.
Yep,
So-
that week he did.
So the two of them.
You're also the guy that told us USC was going to win 8 or 9 games. So
I
let's
did.
let's keep the receipts.
Okay, let's keep the receipts.
What
But
did
I'm
he
willing.
do?
But I'm willing to just. I said last segment, yeah, we were all wrong on that.
Well, I was wrong about Aaron Rodgers. How about that?
You loved his crystal stuff that he was putting on his feet.
I also wanted to try the
why? 'Cause
ayahuasca.
You got a dirty ass foot too. That right foot of
He
yours
does
is
have
dirty,
really
nasty.
It's not. Listen, it's my right heel and it's my right big toe,
You
and
were
it is
hoping those
disgusting.
crystals worked for you too.
I would have loved them to work. Maybe it'll grow my toenail back. All right, keep going.
Okay, so anyway, between Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, they only connected on 3 passes for 30 yards in the first half, and Adams did not catch a single pass in the third or fourth quarter. You know, it was a good game, but it turned into an ugly game at the end.
Yeah.
And then when asked about what happened after the game, Devontae Adams had an interesting explanation.
Just didn't execute, you know, in the opportunities or in the moments that we had to, you know, potentially put the ball in the end zone or finish a drive or, you know, get 3, whatever it was. We just didn't execute, didn't finish, and that's been the underlying thing with kind of this team this year. And
Yeah, the underlying thing with the team this year. You know what it sounds like to me? Game 1, and he's already throwing his new team under the bus. Do you agree?
Yeah, listen, I think, you know what Devontae and Aaron have in common? They love the passive-aggressive, you know, just like ripping of their teammates. And you know what? That's fine. You know, Aaron historically has never been like the rah-rah guy, you know, like get everybody on the same page kind of guy. So it's no surprise this thing at this stage of his life. He's 40 years old, off an Achilles. The thing is unraveling. He stunk in the second
He
half.
looked horrible.
Stunk in the second half. They have had 3 chances this year prior to this game to have game-winning drives. He has come up empty in all 3. He's no longer the player he once was. Him saving that franchise ended 4 plays into the season last year.
And you know, last night there was that one throw he made across the middle of the field, and I don't remember the DB's name from the Steelers.
Beanie
who made
Bishop.
What's his name?
Beanie Bishop.
Yeah,
Beanie
guy
Bishop.
made just a spectacular play, and then the same kid, when the ball bounced off of the Jets receiver's chest, he got that second pick, didn't he? So the thing is that one time the DB made a brilliant play. The next time you got to make a play for your quarterback, because if you look on the other side, Russell Wilson. I don't know where George Pickens came from with that kind of performance, but guys made plays for Russell Wilson when most of us were like, we don't really understand why they're changing quarterbacks when they're 4-2.
Yeah, I had Beanie Bishop last year. Remember, Cap, I did that West Virginia game last year. I did it
do.
against Cincinnati. They honored Don Nealon. They put him in the Ring of Honor.
He knows him, bro.
Beanie Bishop was their top corner on that West Virginia team, who was a pretty good team last year, and he led the nation in pass breakouts in PBUs. So like he's a good player. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's nowhere near the player he used to be.
After the game, the media asked Aaron Rodgers, they're like, what do you say to your teammates about how to keep it all together? And you know what his answer was? Well, the first thing I tell my teammates is not to listen to you guys.
Right.
You see,
He's
Aaron
blaming the
Rodgers,
media. Right. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers had it easy in Green Bay.
Right.
There was one guy from ESPN.
Rob
There's
Demovsky,
probably one newspaper reporter.
Yeah.
There's probably like one or two TV guys, and they all kiss his ass.
Right.
When he goes to New York, it's like, hey, bro, the Yankees are going to the World Series. The Mets are in the NLCS.
Yeah.
Hockey season has started. The Knicks are supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Brother, we were expecting Aaron Rodgers, and we didn't get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And not only that, he got caught on camera picking his nose and eating it. So, ew.
Yeah.
Okay, I pick my nose a lot, too. I never eat it.
I was going to say, it's one thing to pick your nose, but to pick your nose and eat it, that's disgusting.
Picking my nose all the time, red lights. I love to pick my nose at a red light, but I don't eat it.
All right, enough. All right,
I do bite my nails, though, later in the
Coming
day.
up next, speaking of Devontae Adams, his old team, still terrible. You guys, you Raider fans, I mean, what do you have to say for yourself after this week, okay? Where's JT the Brick right now? But first, we'll get to you. We'll get to you, Raider fans, and Ram fans, for that matter. I mean, listen, it wasn't a great game for you either, but at least you won. But first, you ever find trouble finding your favorite team's game, Cappy?
Sometimes, like tonight.
And you couldn't find, that awesome matchup. There's so many channels, so many streaming services. Well, now, there's no more searching and hunting, Cappy. Where to Watch has you covered. It's ESPN's new deal. Where to Watch is a new feature that you can find on ESPN.com and on the free ESPN app. Where to Watch is a one-stop shop with one-click access to the ESPN network streams and all the other networks, too, not just the ESPN ones. Tens of thousands of events across sports and leagues. So basically, it's like a virtual TV guide. It'll take you wherever you need to go. NFL, college football, men's and women's college hoops, the NBA, MLB, NHL, and so much more. Where to Watch is available now on the ESPN app and ESPN.com. Access it from any web browser at ESPN.com/where to watch. Do that today. That's ESPN.com, where to watch.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Ortho are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
Maximum compensation you deserve. You know, when my son was in an accident, we called Joseph at 213-747-2000, and he was able to help. You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000, the law offices of Joseph S. Normand.
Be sure to listen to Rams Super Bowl champion DeMarco Farr every Monday in the 9 a.m. hour on his new show, The Travis and DeMarco Show. He's going to give you his best of from the whole football weekend. And you know, when DeMarco serves up a best of, you know it means something. Don't miss it. They've got their best of the weekend, plus your chance to win a Fantasy Springs Weekend Getaway prize pack with your best of. That's Mondays in the 9 a.m. hour on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN. Made possible by Fantasy Springs Resort Casino. Escape the everyday at Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, just minutes from Palm Springs.
You've seen him on the roast of Tom Brady, and you've heard him host the #1 podcast in the world, Kill Tony. Now see Tony Hinchcliffe perform stand-up comedy live at Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, Saturday, November 16th. The man behind millions of views worldwide and countless sold-out shows brings his stand-up set to you. Critics call him a must-see. Don't miss this stand-up comedian, writer, podcast host, and professional wordsmith, Tony Hinchcliffe. Tickets on sale now at FantasySpringsResort.com.
Hey guys, it's Sedano here. You know it's hard to find a good dentist for your kids, someone who they can trust and enjoy going to the dentist with. Luckily, we found Children's Dental Fun Zone. With 17 locations across Southern California, Children's Dental Fun Zone specializes in children's dentistry and orthodontics. With state-of-the-art equipment and personal attention your children deserve. To book your child's next appointment, visit their website, cdfzone.com. That's cdfzone.com. Or call them at 800-717-KIDS. That's 800-717-KIDS.
It's SUV month at Kia of Carson, and you can get sweet deals on the last of the 24 Tellurides and win a sweet night experience for you and 3 guests for just a test drive. Compliments of Kia of Carson and ESPN LA. We have great deals on our hybrids and plug-ins, as well as our all-electric models. So whether you decide to go with the Nero Hybrid with an EPA estimated 53 mpg in the city, or a rugged Telluride, we have the car and the deal for you all month at Kia of Carson. Visit KiaofCarson.com, or better yet, come test drive a new Kia for a chance to win a sweet experience.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX economy parking structure is now open with
thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforminglax. That's flylax.com/transforminglax.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
DeAndre don't know the song.
You want to go home. Have you seen Beetlejuice yet or no? The new one? I've been meaning to see it. I just haven't had time.
I haven't seen it yet, and I went to the Halloween costume store recently, and I was about to get these Beetlejuice costumes, and I was like, oh, everybody's going to be Beetlejuice, and I went to a Halloween party on Saturday night. No Beetlejuices.
You see?
The best costume.
Beetlejuice is a lot of work, I feel
It
like.
is. My family went as like the Beetlejuice, like a whole plethora. My aunt had the one mask when she stretches out her mouth, and her head's like inside the mouth, you know? The main character, what's her name? Anyway, I also saw the best Beetlejuice costume.
Ryder, you're saying?
No, the other one. Gina Davis.
Oh.
Yeah, when they're the dead people.
Oh, yeah. That's
It was a very funny mask, but there was a dog, like, Halloween pug parade thing I saw on Instagram this weekend.
My kids went to something called Dogtoberfest this weekend.
Maybe that's what it was. Were they, like, dogs dressed up?
No, it's just like a beer festival with dogs.
Well, there was one.
Kind of a smart combination, actually.
Do the dogs drink the beer?
No, they didn't drink the beer. The
Especially
people
if-
drink the beer.
Especially if you have like a wiener dog. But the costume was Bob, the shrunken head guy.
Yeah.
And it was like a big normal person's body, but it was just a little chihuahua's head with a little ponytail on top. It was a very funny commercial.
I was at this Halloween party Saturday night, and things got testy with this one family because they all were dressed in this costume, and a bunch of us were like, so like we don't like exactly understand your costume. And they sat there for like 45 minutes telling us how dumb we were because we couldn't figure out what their costume was.
And what was it?
Well, this one woman was wearing a white sheet, and she was holding a fan, and she kept hitting the fan, okay? And then her daughter had on a white sheet, and it had a list, and it said 1, 2, 3, and there was nothing written into the list. And then there was a dad, and he had all these sheets stuffed into his pockets and everything. And for the life of me, I could not. And then one girl had a white sheet on, and it said, ha, 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 all over the white sheet. And I didn't know what they were. And they're like, it's so obvious what we are. And I swear to you, this went on for like 45 minutes that we couldn't figure out what they were. And then they kept telling us how dumb we were for not being able to figure it out.
Were they the Snapchat ghosts?
No.
Oh.
Were you guys the only ones who couldn't figure it out?
No, nobody at the party knew what they were talking about. And then they were telling everybody that they were dumb. And if it wasn't for the fact that the father of the family was the brother to the hostess of the party, I think we would have thrown hands.
Oh, well.
So what was their costume?
You wouldn't have thrown hands with nobody.
Well, I wouldn't have, but I would have had like DeAndre beat somebody up. You know what I mean? What were they? Well, the mom is wearing a white sheet.
Yeah.
And she's
okay.
and she's hitting the fan.
Yeah.
So that's
she's hitting the fan. What do you mean?
I mean, if you don't have the answer, then who cares?
Well, no, I do have the
fan,
answer. What
as
is
in
it?
like a fan that spins, like to keep
Yeah.
it cool.
She said, don't you get it? When the sheet hits the fan.
That's the stupidest thing ever.
And I'm like, and what's his deal? And they're like, well, that's the sheet list because he had a list on and he's wearing a sheet. And I go, what's with the funny thing? Ha 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 ha. They're like, oh yeah, that's sheet and giggles. I'm like,
That's the
these are the
stupidest
dumbest
thing ever.
costumes I've ever
I
seen in my
agree.
life, and I'm the idiot.
Yeah, it's not good.
You're right, Cap.
You're right, Cappy. You are.
Appreciate you guys having my back on this one.
Yeah, and DeAndre didn't have to beat anybody up for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, DeAndre.
Now, Were there any fights at the Raider-Rams game this weekend? I'm going to imagine there had to be something.
I mean, we got to see videos. I'm sure there's going to be videos that will surface.
I mean, because the Raiders didn't put up much of a fight, it felt like, in that game. I mean, they tried, I guess, but, I mean, they covered the spread. Again, commitment to covering, Cappy.
George, listen to me. This is a philosophy when it comes to the NFL that I live by.
Yeah.
You will not win games on the road in the National Football League if you settle for field goals that are shorter than extra points.
Yeah.
In other words, when you have a 4th and short, and you are and your choice is kick a 28-yard field goal or go for it, every single time. By the way, that sounded kind of Trumpy. Like, every single time, millions and millions of field goals are kicked, by the way.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just telling you right now, when you kick a field goal that's 28 yards.
Yeah, you're dumb. Yeah, that's dumb. Like, you can't do that.
When you're on the road in the NFL.
You got to score touchdowns if you're that close.
But you want to know why the Raiders are horrendous?
Why?
Amongst other things.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons.
Here's one of the main reasons. The score yesterday was 20-12. And the Raiders are, this is after the Stafford interception. Right? And the Raiders are driving.
Right.
And it's 4th and short.
Yeah.
And what happens? They have an illegal procedure penalty.
Right, so they go and they kick the field goal. Right.
So now they kick the field goal.
Right.
So now
and then they screw everybody who had the Rams to cover.
Right, it's 20-15.
Yeah.
Bro, I have a question for you. Coach Pierce, how do you expect to win? I mean, first of all, your guys are so undisciplined that they can't even stay in their stance until the ball is snapped.
Right.
So that's a mental mistake, number one.
Yeah.
But then even on 4th and 7,
yeah.
Unfortunately, Coach, you got to go for it.
The math wasn't mathing. Like, everyone was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. And here's what I'll tell you. This team is a disaster. They're 2-5. They have the 3rd worst point differential in the sport. Only the Panthers and the Patriots are worse. They're tied with the Dolphins, but they haven't had Tua for 4 weeks, so that's going to change. He's coming back this week, so they'll at least be like a decent team, like, again, the rest of the season. I mean, the Raiders are a complete unmitigated disaster.
Oh, but wait. Oh,
the
no.
best was JT the Brick on Twitter. Following along with his tweets during the Raiders games.
Oh, yeah.
I was just laughing, just chuckling.
Yeah, it's a joke. Like, they're not, like, but this is what I tried to explain to people from the beginning of the season. Like, you're getting yourself all hyped because you beat the Ravens. The Ravens beat themselves in that game. The Ravens got cute. They were up 10. They have the best running back in the sport by a mile still, okay? That guy is not slowing down by any stretch of the imagination yet. And they just said, oh, yeah, only 2 carries for that guy. They wanted to throw the ball with Lamar Jackson. I didn't even understand it. And they come back, they win some fluky game, and everyone, including Greg Bergman around here, thought they were going 6-1, and now they're almost the complete opposite of that.
But wait a second. You don't seem to understand something. When it comes to the Raiders, George, you got to look on the bright side, okay? The bright side is that yesterday against the Rams, who didn't look very good.
No, they weren't good either. I thought Stafford actually had a really bad game.
Yeah, but I will say this. The running game, believe it or not, is actually starting to produce for the Rams.
Right, because Blake Corum's getting in there. They're giving guys different carries, and they're keeping guys fresher, yes.
Well, and Kyren Williams in particular looked very good yesterday.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about the Raiders. You're not giving this enough credit. Don't you see that the whole Raider organization is about to turn around before this year is even over because they finally got a quarterback? You know about this, correct?
What? What are you talking about?
Well, they lost Aiden O'Connell yesterday, right?
Gardner Minshew was
so they got to bring Gardner Minshew in. Now, according to the reports, the Raiders have just plucked from the Arizona Cardinals
Ritter.
practice roster
yeah.
Desmond Ritter. Yeah. And this is pathetic, but this is true.
Yeah.
Desmond Ritter, who in his career, I mean, he was like a 3rd-round pick out of Cincinnati.
Yeah,
he had a really nice college
he led
career.
Cincinnati to the playoff, the 14 playoff.
Right.
Yeah.
And he actually started like a full season's worth of games
with Atlanta.
With the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
So now you've just gone to the Arizona Cardinals and you've plucked their 3rd-string quarterback off their practice roster. Yeah. And guess what? He should be your starting quarterback immediately.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, it's just.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who their quarterback is. Like, they're hopeless.
It's just they are hopeless.
They're like competing with the Browns for the worst team in the league.
It's really bad. Like it's.
I don't know who's in a worse situation.
It's not even a surprise. Like, this is what I expected them to be. And by the way, the Chargers are playing today. We'll see if they're 3-2 right now. The Broncos are better than them, and people, all you Raider fans laughed when I said the Broncos would be better, that you'd be the worst team in the division, and here we are.
I just have one question. Are you guys honestly telling me that the only way I can watch this Chargers-Cardinals game tonight is ESPN Plus?
Yes.
And as an ESPN employee, I'm entitled to ESPN Plus, and I don't have ESPN Plus, and I can't watch the game.
Well, that's your fault.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Cappy, let's get to the 30-minute commercial-free 5 o'clock hour in just a few moments.
All right, let's do it. But before we do, hey, one more time, let's talk about Real Father's Rights. Let's get real, as in R-E-E-L. Let's get real and talk about Real Father's Rights. Their website for you to visit them, R-E-E-L, realfathersrights.com/710, realfathersrights.com/710. If you're going through a divorce, if you've already been through a divorce, but there's a big mess that's still going on, if you're preparing, you're like, hey, I know this is happening. Like, I better get a lawyer before my wife does. I mean, jump on this thing and get going with Real Father's Rights, because they are the father's rights attorneys. They're the guys that have the backs of all the guys. Because I can tell you right now, having been through a divorce, having been through 1, 2, 3, 4 more times of having to go back to court, I will tell you right now that more often than not, the court system favors the female, okay? And that's my personal experience, and I know it's a lot of other guys' experience. This is where Real Father's Rights comes into play, because they work for the guys. They're the experts in navigating the family law system, the court system, and they want to make sure you have the happiness and the justice you deserve. realfathersrights.com/710. Real, R-E-E-L. Let's get real with Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorneys.
When you're
Hey, football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Party and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison this Thursday, October 24th, for their live Rams postgame show from Ray's Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and party with Travis, Kirk, and ESPN LA fans. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Enjoy a postgame meal and drink at Ray's Lounge right after the game. Party and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game. Must be 21 and older.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland. Turn it up, man. Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney. Visit realfathersrights.com or call 951-482-7517. Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this?
And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN.
Yeah.
Let's do it, Jack.
Beep-ba-da-bop.
Yep.
Doom-da-da-bop. Beep-ba-da-bop.
Hey, do you know the guy's name, George, that was at the Dodger game last night that you sent that video?
I forgot his name at the moment.
What a great video you sent me last night. You made my whole night, man. You really did. Anybody who missed it, George, I'm sure you put it out all over social media.
I did. I put it in the community, yeah.
Yeah, we played it earlier today. But, man, that really made my night. So thank you to you, and thank you to that gentleman.
He was super stoked when I showed him your response.
Seriously, made me feel very loved. How about that?
All right. How about that?
I'll tell you what would make me feel loved is if I could figure out how to get ESPN Plus right now so I can watch this Charger game.
Now.
Lindsay's got you covered.
Which email do you want me to send it to? The
I don't
sided
care.
one or
Send it to the. I mean, yeah, you got. Here's the thing: you got to like pick an email. You know what I mean? Like that is also your problem. You got like 7,000 emails.
I would rather use my personal email than my sided email, but Lindsay prefers my sided email, so that's where she sends me communications.
That's where you told me to send it to once because you said for work stuff that you checked it more.
Oh, all right.
You did tell me that for work stuff.
All right.
But I'll send it to both.
All right.
All right.
Oh, Georgie.
So, Cappy, we are going commercial free. Kirk Morrison will join us in about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk some football with him.
Football.
Yeah, bye-bye. But let's talk Dodgers again.
Let's bring it back.
I sent it to you, by the way, Cap.
There you
Let's
go.
run it back.
Outside of the obvious, so let's move Ohtani out of the equation here, okay? So that
Wait,
way,
Ohtani, what's his deal?
That way, Christopher doesn't call you Captain Obvious, okay?
Shohei is now naked.
All right. Let's take Ohtani out of the equation. Let's take Aaron Judge out of the equation for the Yankees too, okay?
Okay.
What do you think are the biggest factors? Like, what is the most crucial for the Dodgers to win this World Series? And if you've got one on a take on the Yankees too, I'd love to hear it too. But you don't have to. I mean, I've got one for each. But what do you think is the most crucial thing that needs to happen or player that needs to, quote unquote, step up? Whatever it is, it could be whatever factor you want to include.
Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
We know how effective the Dodger bullpen has been. We know how Dave Roberts has managed the bullpen. What we don't know is how consistent can the starting pitching be? And most of us, I put myself at the front of this group, most of us thought the Dodgers would run out of pitching long before we got to where we are. So I would say it like this. I'm looking at the 3 starting pitchers that the Dodgers have available. Walker Buehler, can you, with your mind, get over what your body wasn't allowing you to do for the last 2 years? Walker Buehler is a big game postseason pitcher. So Walker Buehler, Jack Flaherty, who has become, a fan favorite all of a sudden. A lot of it, I think, had to do with him barking at Manny Machado. And Yamamoto. Those 3 guys, if the starting pitching in each game, I don't need a lot. I don't need 6 or 7 innings.
Just 4, to be honest.
Exactly. If the starting pitching can just give you 4 innings per game, and it's the exact same thing we talked about with Walker Buehler the last time he started. If you can go 4 innings and you can give up fewer than 2 runs, the Dodgers bats have a chance.
Yeah.
So I would say for me, my number one key for the Dodgers is their 3 starting pitchers and how they perform.
That's a great key, Cappy. I'm very excited that you used that
thank you.
particular
Thank you
key.
so much.
Yeah, I do. I like that. I think that was a good call by you.
Thank you.
I think. I mean, I would echo that obviously because that helped them get to this particular point. I would also say this. I think that the Dodgers' strength when it comes to their hitting, and we've talked about this briefly as well, has been their ability to make pitchers work, right? So that needs to continue against a team that probably has, if I had to think, the Yankees, like Garrett Cole has not been Garrett Cole this year. He's also been dealing with some injuries. But if he's right, and again, that's a big if, like they're dealing with some of the stuff the Dodgers are dealing with in that regard. If he's right, he would be the best pitcher in this series. But I actually think that when I look at the Dodgers, the guy who makes it all work in the lineup for me is Teoscar Hernandez. Okay? Because with Freddie Freeman being limited at this point, to me, and I hope Freddie can play. I hope Freddie's ankle can be good enough to play at this point. But he has to be the guy that offers that big bat right behind Ohtani and Betts and protects them in the lineup against a pitching staff that's probably more complete than the Dodgers have seen to this point.
Okay, fair enough. Teoscar Hernandez had an amazing year. I mean, an absolutely incredible regular season.
He's been a steal at one year, $23 million,
right,
in my opinion, as crazy as that sounds.
No, it doesn't sound crazy at all, because if you would have signed him to a 10-year, $230 million contract at an average of $23 million a year, you'd be like, yeah, that seems like reasonable. The guy had an incredible regular season. I think he finished the regular season with somewhere in the neighborhood of about 36 home runs during the regular season. And he's come up huge in the postseason with a couple of monster home runs, including in that 2-0 win that sealed the deal against the Padres. He had one of the 2 solo home runs in that game, along with Kike. So, I think that that's a really good one. I think I would just add to that if I were going to go in for a second bite at the apple.
Feel free to add, baby.
I would say this. I'd say Will Smith continuing, as Jeff Passan said earlier. It seems like Will Smith is starting to really, catch some fire.
Willie Dills.
Will Smith would be one.
Yeah.
And I guess really what I would do is this. I'd say the role players, because we all know Ohtani, Mookie, Teoscar, Freddie. Freddie plays, but it's Chris Taylor who came up big last night.
Yeah.
It's Will
Tommy
Smith.
Edman. Yeah.
It's Tommy Edman. It's Max
I would
Muncy
say that
continuing
Will
to get on
Smith,
base.
Will Smith, I don't consider him a role player. Like, he should be good enough to be in that
Should
initial
be,
group. Yeah.
but he's also batting 8th. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he's no longer the top of the order kind of guy. So all the other guys not named Ohtani, Mookie, Freddie, and I would say even Teoscar into this category.
Yeah.
It's the other guys in the lineup.
The others.
Yep.
Yeah.
The OGs, the other guys.
So on the flip side with the Yankees.
On the Flismo flop?
I mean, their top of the lineup is as dangerous as the Dodgers. That's the thing about this matchup is that and we talked about it with Jeff Passan earlier, and if you missed that, you can download it and subscribe to our podcast, the Sedano Kap podcast, which you should be doing anyway. Like,
It's the most listened to sports podcast in L.A.
Is it?
You haven't heard that?
I thought that was Mason and Ireland.
No, that they were
the
most listened to podcast in L.A.
All right, if you say
and
so.
now we are the most listened to. Actually, that's not even true.
So I already told you Garrett Cole, and the top of their lineup is really good. But it's interesting because I was watching that last series against Cleveland, and Cleveland finally got to Luke Weaver. Luke Weaver had been inserted as their closer in early September, I believe September 6th, and he hadn't allowed an earned run until that game that Lindsey gave up on
I think it was Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
By the way, Lindsey, really, I mean, you gave up on your Gardos.
And they won that game.
And they wound up coming back and winning with a walk-off home run. Fry hits that 2-run home run. And I tried to say to you last week, come on, girl, you got to believe. You got to have some
believe.
faith.
Yeah.
Right. And you just had none, just zero.
Now
you
you
turned
see
off
why.
the TV. Freaking DeAndre wanted to watch the game.
It's just painful, Cap.
Right, but they won the game.
Pain. It was great. You know what? And I was sitting down in my car with my family group chat, and we're talking about, it stunk again. Wait till next year. And then my brother-in-law texts just nothing but a Christmas tree emoji. And so then I was like, okay, something happened. So then I got in the elevator, came back up here, and I watched the end of the game with DeAndre.
There you go. So
Oh,
there you
really?
have it.
I did
But
not know.
Luke Weaver, Cappy, if the Dodgers, since he showed some cracks in that Cleveland series, if they can get to Luke Weaver, and depending on when the lineup is in there, or what lineup is in there at that particular time, like that to me is key because obviously outside of that one game, he's been really, really good for the Yankees in the closer role. So
I'm going to give you a player from the Yankees that I think could be very impactful in this series, and if he is. That is a really big thing for the Yankees. And if he isn't, it's good to keep a guy like this shut down from the Dodgers side. Look, your point is right on. Everybody knows what Soto can do. Everybody knows what Judge can do. And everybody understands that when Giancarlo Stanton is right, like he was during the ALCS, he's still a beast.
Right. By the way, shout out Notre Dame High School.
But you want to know who's
local
a player?
kid, Lindsay, by the way.
Local kid, local guy. Yeah.
There's a lot of local guys on the Gardos.
Yeah. Who's a guy who's been around a long time, who's been a World Series champion, has the experience, and really has been an impact player, but now he's kind of getting a little bit older, and he just hasn't been as good as he's been in years past.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the Yankees first baseman, Anthony Rizzo.
Anthony Rizzo, yeah.
Hey, Rizzo.
Hey, come over here.
Hey, Zizzle Chest, come over here, Rizzo.
I totally forgot that he was on the Yankees. Like I kept
Well,
thinking of him
he
being
was
on the
hurt,
Cubs.
and they brought him up for that Cleveland series.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's one of those guys that because he's missed a bunch of time.
Oh, yeah.
And because
He's
of
a good
what
player.
he has done in his postseason career, Anthony Rizzo's been around a really, really long time.
Yeah.
And he's probably getting to the end of his career and finds himself in a very fortunate, well, in fact, I mean, what a fortunate moment he finds himself in.
Right, yeah.
So Anthony Rizzo, to me, is one of those guys because of his postseason experience and because of where he is in his career and because of the fact that he's had time off due to injury, he's a guy that could make an impact in this series.
Yeah. No, it's a good one, Cappy. I like that as like an under-the-radar kind of
I'll call it an
option.
X factor. Like
X factor.
They hit you with an X factor like on a pregame show. They're like, who's going to be the X factor in this series? And I just came up with Anthony Rizzo.
All I know is that you guys, the Dodgers better beat the Yankees because I hate the Yankees so much.
Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, the Yankees haven't been in the World Series in 15 years. Like,
Oh, my God, that's crazy.
Well, for them, that is a pretty long-ass time. They've only had one other instance.
Blasphemy.
Where they went 15 years, which was 1981 against the Dodgers to 1996 when they beat Atlanta. So those are the two longest stretches of time where they haven't been to the World Series, and they've been to the World Series 41 times. So there's that's a long time for them. Look, it's like if the Lakers didn't go to the finals for 15 years, people would be like, "Whoa, that's a long time for them."
It's just this is the best World Series matchup. If you don't have, Dodger fans.
Oh, I'm telling you this, Cappy. I have friends who never watch baseball anymore.
Yeah,
who are
now,
legit into watching this series.
And I feel for everybody. If you're a Guardians fan, Lindsay, if you are a Padres fan, and you are turned off because your team is now out and you don't want to watch baseball anymore.
But that's not true because the third highest market so the top three markets in watching the Dodgers-Mets series were New York, L.A., and San Diego.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because there are so many Dodger fans in San Diego, which is one possibility.
Or they're hate watching.
Or they could have been hate watching, But regardless, if you don't have a team in the World Series, but you're turned off.
Do you think Miss Molly was watching the Dodgers-Mets?
I don't think Miss Molly was watching. I don't think.
I like Miss Molly, but that's why I'm asking.
But I think she's one of those lifelong hardcore Padre fans.
I also listen.
Padre fan means Dodger hater.
I hate. Why don't we just text him real quick, Kirk Morrison? I hate that some fans are like, "Oh, I'm not going to watch anymore because my team was eliminated." Sorry, Lindsay.
I didn't want to watch yesterday. It was too sad. I mean, I'm going to watch the World Series.
Okay, but you're going to watch the World Series. Fine.
I needed a day off from baseball.
Okay, that's fine. But I hate I'm not going to watch the NBA Finals because my team got eliminated. Like, really? You're going to invest a whole season in watching a sport and then not watch who's going to win the championship?
Well, okay, but on the other hand, hold on. I just want to say one thing.
Like, that to me is just, you're not a good sports fan if you do that.
Well, let me just say this. If the Guardians were playing the Mets, I'm probably out.
No, I'm watching at least. It's the World Series. I'm at least gonna pay some attention to it.
Yeah, paying attention to it is different than investing time into it.
I'm not. It does. I don't necessarily think you have to watch every pitch and every inning, but at least give it a glance every once in a while.
But this is different. See, this is different.
This is like every pitch,
right? Because but even if this were, let's just say you were in Tulsa, since we like to reference
we love
Tulsa.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Yeah.
And this is the number one market versus the number two market.
Right.
The biggest on the East, the biggest on the West.
Right. And
the
they've
biggest
got a
brands.
lot of history. Right. Yeah.
And I go back to when I was a kid. I mean,
they have so much history that they all used to play in New York.
That is also true.
Yeah.
But I can remember being a little kid, 7 years old, 8 years old, and I was a kid who was a Yankee fan. And Reggie Jackson and Bucky Dent and Thurman Munson and Dave Winfield.
My favorite player growing up was Don Mattingly, who was obviously the Dodger manager for a number of years. I grew up, we grew up in the same area. There was no team for a long, long time.
Right.
And back then you could get there because there was no team on any of the independent channels or TBS or WGN. You could get the Yankees, the Mets, the Cubs, or the Braves, and you usually picked one. And back then, all the spring training was there.
Right.
So, you would go watch those teams in spring training and then invest in them there. So, yeah, I'm with you. I grew up, Don Mattingly, Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield, Mike Pagliarulo. Those were my guys. And then, I liked those Jeter, A-Rod teams and all that. Then I moved here, and it was just hard to watch baseball at 4 o'clock because I had other things to do. So I started watching the Dodgers every night because my wife is a lifelong Dodger fan. And then I started saying, hey, the Dodgers are pretty fun. Dave Roberts is cool. He comes on the radio show with us. And then you came on. He's like your boy. And then that's it. And it was the Dodgers are my squad. But I'll tell you this. This is the matchup. Baseball. This is baseball's wet dream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How about that?
A nocturnal emission. Is
Correct.
that right?
Exactly.
Wow. I didn't realize it.
There you go. And on that note, we bring on Kirk Morrison for Morrison Mondays. Hello,
What?
Kirk Morrison.
What are you doing? Those are my words. You shouldn't be saying that. I say things like that.
Yeah, man. What is going on? What did I get into? What is this?
It's Dodgers-Yankees, baby. That's what you got into, yeah.
7:10 after dark. All right, it's still 5 o'clock. 5:15. We doing 17 after dark.
Kirk, immediately we got to reset this phone call.
We got to get you on a new line. Hold on a second. Lindsay,
Immediately we reset.
Call him right back.
We're not even going to fake our way through it and act like we don't hear how bad it is. This is a friend of ours. we're going to reset this call immediately.
Yeah, of course, because it's like, and then just get his music. Just keep playing his music at this point. Like, we just keep talking to it. Yeah.
Wet Dream, that's what you came up with?
It's the truth.
Nocturnal Emission,
Correct.
for real?
Yes.
Wow.
Would it not be? Would you not classify it as one?
I mean, man, oh man, George. That is just out of character.
I mean, it is a good description, is it not? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good dream that you're having if you have that situation happen.
Just saying. There you go.
Sometimes I have to wake myself up in the middle of those dreams so I don't have that.
Okay, see, this is what happens. You see, I make the case, and then you take it that one step too far. Like, nocturnal emission is a technical term, too. Like, that was great. And then you had to do the thing that you do, which is you take it one step too far.
But it's true.
But you do the thing. Why do you do the thing all the time?
The
What's
thing
wrong
that
with
I
Kirk's
do?
phone? Is it still that bad?
I love you guys trying to vamp when I call him back, and it's just.
No vamp. No vamp. I'm ready to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll keep talking Dodgers-Yankees. It's fine with me.
I think it's funny.
I don't have to talk about football.
Nocturnal emission.
Or football. I mean, I honestly, I'll say this, speaking of football, even the great Kevin Harlan for a while couldn't make that Rams-Raiders game interesting. Kevin Harlan can honestly make anything, can make paint drying interesting to me, okay? And he for a while couldn't make that thing interesting. Is he on one? Kirk, I know you were, I don't know, were you watching the game on TV or were you at that Rams game yesterday? Did you get a chance to watch it at all on TV or no?
Yeah, I was there.
No, I know, but
baby, all day.
So I know you're there, but I'm saying, like, sometimes I don't know if you were like you're in a suite, you're glancing at the TV or whatever. Because I was watching it, and our buddy Kevin Harlan, who I think is the GOAT, right? Like one of the GOATs.
The GOAT.
Like
he's my GOAT. He's my GOAT.
My guy. That guy can make anything interesting just because of the way he's such a great broadcaster with so much enthusiasm. And, even he was struggling trying to make that thing interesting at times yesterday. Wow. That thing was the first half was the cure for insomnia. I thought Jeff Fisher was back there for a minute.
Who's doing the Laker game tomorrow night? Who's the broadcast team on the Laker game? Because I wonder if Kevin's schlepping back and forth, or if he was like, "Hey, I'm in LA.
Oh,
I
no,
don't
he's
want to
doing
go
Monday night tonight. He's doing one of those
No, because he's got Monday Night Football tonight.
Well, right.
Yeah, he's got Monday Night Football.
But he might be able to
I
go
don't know
to
what
Arizona.
he's doing though.
He might.
Yeah,
chances are he probably just go right to Arizona.
Arizona.
Right, flip over to Arizona, turn right back around, come back to LA. Let's find out if Kevin's going to be doing the Laker game tomorrow night. Because if he is, we'll call him. We'll have him on the show tomorrow, and then he can talk about trying to make that Rams-Raiders game interesting. But I think the Raiders found their quarterback of the future today, Kirk. I don't know if you saw this or not, but the kid Ritter that was the starter for the Falcons, a third-round pick out of Cincinnati, they signed him, the Raiders did, off the Arizona practice roster. And frankly, I think he's the best quarterback the Raiders have on the roster now.
Desmond Ritter, the once Atlanta Falcon Desmond Ritter, who definitely didn't work out there, got traded away, didn't make the starting squad in Arizona, and now the Raiders are just throwing darts at a dartboard. Honestly, it's just because of the injury to Aiden O'Connell's hand. They bring in Desmond Ritter, and I don't think he's the answer. So the Raiders really lost out just because they chose wrong. They had every opportunity, trade a couple picks, go get Michael Penix. Now I get it. Brock Bowers is a really good tight end.
Yes, he is.
And so it's like, do you get the tight end who can be great for many, many years and then get the quarterback later, maybe the next year, and hope that Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew can do something for you? Or do you go get Michael Penix right away and then use some money to go get some other weapons? That's where the Raiders are at. They're one game away, really. Honestly, I don't even say one game away. When they traded Devontae Adams away, they already started looking toward 2025. And so the Raiders don't have their starting quarterback on their roster. They will figure that out ASAP. But that's the big thing so far.
All right, and I said this to George last week. Tell me if you think I'm out of my mind. But with Tom Brady now having a small piece of ownership and the way he was celebrated when he got into the Raiders facility, I really honestly believe that Tom Brady will, and I know that he'd have a great relationship with Bill Belichick at the end, but I think Tom Brady will ask Bill Belichick to come coach the Raiders, and then they'll go draft a quarterback, and I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think Antonio Pierce is long for this job based on this season. Do you think this Belichick thing is ridiculous? Yeah,
I think it's ridiculous. I think Bill likes what he's doing right now. Will he come back to coach it? I don't know. I've seen more Bill Belichick than I ever have.
Right.
And I got to wonder, does he like what he's doing? Because he's on Pat McAfee. He's doing Inside the NFL. He's doing all these different hits. He's doing podcasts.
Right,
and the dude is smiling. He's smiling, having a good time, and coaches fall in love with that. And I've always said this, the great thing about being a broadcaster is I don't win or lose. I don't walk away on Mondays like, oh, my God, that feeling of, you understand it, Scott, like when you lose, people don't realize what a locker room, what a facility feels like after a loss. It's like a morgue in there. He doesn't have to worry about that. So it's hard for me to think that he wants to jump right back in there like right away. TV is totally different now for what he wants to do, and I think he's having fun doing it.
I don't know, man. I think Belichick wants to coach again. I think that's what he is, and I think he will. And I think that Tom Brady's got the inside track on him, should he want to do it. So I know I'm kind of in the minority here. Nobody thinks that this is real. Everybody thinks I'm just, coming up with hot takes.
I get it, but come on, Cappy. Tom Telesco and Bill Belichick working together, you think that's what's going to happen?
Well, I mean, at least Bill Belichick, if he could just say, hey, I should take my hands off because not only were the Patriots bad in my last few years, not only were my drafts bad, but look what I've left the Patriots with. I mean, the Patriots are one of the worst teams in football, and the roster that they have is primarily from what Belichick handed off to them. Put it this way.
Soft.
You
like
can't
the
even
coach said, they're soft.
That's right. Put it this way. You can't even say this. Hey, you could get Bill Belichick to coach and these guys. No, you can't. Bill Belichick couldn't coach those guys either. That's the bottom line. So
Bill Belichick, by the way, if he's going to coach somewhere, it's going to be somewhere with a good quarterback.
Yeah, I think the Raiders will draft a quarterback. I think that's what they're going to do. By the way, if they draft Shedeur Sanders, maybe Dion becomes the head coach. How about that?
Oh, I thought Dion would go to Florida State, but Florida State may have to pony up some money for him, so that may not work.
And plus, they just gave their other coach like a big contract extension like a year ago.
$86 million contract extension. So, or Dion could be coaching the Cowboys. Who knows?
I mean, he might be. McCarthy might be out. Yeah. So, by the way, Cappy, our boy Iron Eagle here tomorrow with Stan Van Gundy.
The I-Man.
Yeah.
All
right. Thank you, sir.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so
he's doing Lakers on TNT. So, all right, Kirk, let's do the Rams part of this equation, okay?
Yes.
Stafford did not look good yesterday off a bye. Now, why do you think that's the case? I mean, the Raiders' defense is still very good. So do you believe it was, more the Raiders? Is there something you saw from Stafford that you felt like was just off on his part? Could it be a combination of both?
It's a combination of he ain't got nobody to throw to.
Okay,
let's be honest.
And the offensive line is still a little bit in shambles too a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, let's be honest. Who had a better day, Stafford or Patrick Mahomes? Like they both stunk it up yesterday, and yet both those guys found a way to win games. Like their teams found a way. I just think that in this league right now, what we're seeing is that you're going to have the ups and the downs. This war of attrition of your pass catchers, right? Tight ends, wide receivers, running backs. I don't know if these quarterbacks even know who's going to be available until the game starts. So we're seeing chemistry still being built with a bunch of guys. Like the Rams' offensive skill position guys are not the ones that they were counting on when they were back at Loyola Marymount. This is like a totally different group that they're counting on. I think it's the same thing with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, just that they happen to be 6-0 and the Rams are 2-4. So I always believe this. Look, as the season goes along, these quarterbacks will separate themselves. I think Stafford, when he gets Cooper Kupp back, Puka Nacua back, also Steve Avila, I mean, there's some guys who can help this offense come together because right now I like the way these young dudes, these young guys on the defense are playing. They're actually keeping this team together right now.
Yeah, but I will just say this. You say that Stafford doesn't have anybody to throw to. Listen, I'll just say it like this. Tutu Atwell has stepped up his game this year when they've needed him to. I'll give him that credit. And I think this kid, Tyler Johnson, yesterday did a hell of a good job. 4 catches, 57 yards, was targeted 7 times. Look, I mean, he's a body, and he's got a pulse, and he's got on a uniform, so he's the guy that Stafford has to throw to. But I actually thought he played pretty good. I just think Stafford really had his best stuff yesterday for whatever reason. And I like the way the running game is coming together.
Cappy and George, help me out on this one because this my comparison I made was this. when you're down your 2 stars, you're telling guys who are role players to have to be number ones. And I compared it to when Anthony Davis and LeBron James take a day off on a back-to-back. And it's like, okay, it's D'Angelo Russell's night. And you're like, D'Angelo Russell is not a number one. He's a complimentary player. He plays well when those other guys are playing, hopefully. But to ask him to be, okay, tonight you're the number one, and you're asking Tyler Johnson, Tutu Atwell, they're not number ones. They're number threes and number fours because they play with the other guys who make them better. But when you ask them to play into that number one role, it's not consistent enough for me to get excited about. And I think that's where the Matthew Stafford inconsistency in throwing the football to some of those guys, because they're in the spots that, we haven't seen him throw a no-look pass because he don't know if the guy's going to be there or not.
All right, I'll buy that. I will buy that, but I just got, listen, I always take up for the undrafted guy and listen, Tutu Atwell was, high round draft choice. But, listen,
right.
That's when guys get opportunities. When a Cooper Kupp and a Puka Nacua is not there, that's when a guy like, Tyler Johnson all of a sudden gets people going, wow, I didn't know who that was. Who is he? So I
right,
look for those guys to get opportunities.
Yeah, all those guys too. But the thing is, they'll be relegated back to their role when Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, they all come back from injury. So I think, look,
and when is that going to happen? Like, when is a real shot of those guys getting back here?
I think Cooper Kupp plays on Thursday. They held him out on Sunday because they knew they were playing again 5 days later. They'd rather have Cooper Kupp on a Thursday and then have that little mini bye week than playing him on Sunday and not having the proper rest for him to come right back and play again. So I fully anticipate seeing Cooper Kupp play on Thursday, and in maybe a game or two after that, activating Puka Nacua, and now we can really, start to evaluate this Rams team.
Let's see if they can make a run.
Yeah, and they probably thought we could beat the Raiders without him.
They did.
Well, they definitely
they
thought
knew
that.
Yeah.
They toyed around yesterday with that game. They knew that they were the better team. They literally said, "Hey, Raiders, if you want the game, you can have it." And the Raiders still couldn't find a way to win.
I mean, look, the Rams have a schedule that breaks in. If they can get past Minnesota, which is not easy, but
correct.
But then after that, Seahawks are they're playing
Seattle.
good ball. But they're not like the Rams have had good success against them. The Dolphins will have Tua back. That'll be tougher. The Patriots are not good. The Eagles have been okay, but not great. And the Saints are imploding. So there's some winnable games there. To your point,
Do I think the Rams are going to be division champions? No. But do I think that they're going to be vying for a spot in the playoffs? Absolutely. So that, to me, is always trying to get to the magical number of 9 wins.
Yeah.
Can the Rams get to 9? So that's the game that I'm playing right now in my head, the way you laid the schedule out, George. I think that's the best bet for them is finding ways to get to 9, and then hopefully that's enough. So they got to beat some of these NFC teams, though. They've lost too many already.
Yeah.
That's why this Thursday is like a playoff game.
Oh, and
Minnesota is a NFC wildcard team, I think, because Detroit is a better team right now.
Yeah, and here's an interesting trend. When teams lose to Detroit, and Dallas is the only exception because they had a bye week, they tend to lose.
Dallas lost.
Oh, no.
So Dallas lost. They did. They lost in their bye week. Come on, 34-10, they lost. That's how bad they were. They didn't have. They lost in their bye week. How do you lose in the bye week?
Yeah. So the teams that lose to Detroit have lost the second week as well. And I think a lot of that is just the way they beat you up. You know what I mean? Like and you played the sport. Like there's some teams, they're so physical that it lasts a while, So I'm curious to see if Minnesota has that kind of lag, I guess, against the Rams. So Kirk Morrison Mondays at 5:15 here on Sedano and Kap. You got the Cal Bears, man. I'm sorry. They're like USC. So Cal has lost 4 games this season by a total of 9 points. I had the game this past week against NC State.
I was listening. Yeah, I was watching.
And then you've got them this coming week, and the number 2 team on that list is USC. They've lost 4 games by a combined 14 points. So it has been a rough go for those 2 former Pac-12 teams at the moment. 4 losses by a combined 9 and 4 losses by a combined 14. It's crazy.
It's crazy. I think Cal this week will have a much better opportunity. We'll see now a non-conference game. But then I also kind of laugh and I look at the USC Trojans. They don't have to play another team with a Block M logo. So that is good for them.
Yeah.
Okay. So they don't have to play Michigan, Minnesota, or Maryland. They're good.
Yeah.
Okay. And Notre Dame is an N and a D. So they're good. So no more Block M. The only maybe hiccup could be Washington because it's M upside down.
Upside down, right.
So we'll see. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't think the R of Rutgers poses a threat?
Oh, let me tell you something. Greg Schiano's team is gonna. They may not be great, but they're gonna play physical as hell. That's for sure.
Man, those fighting Schianos, man, they're gonna be ready to roll Friday night. You see everything going on Friday?
There's a lot of games on Friday.
Man, there is a game at SoFi, a high school game, Friday Night Lights. There's something at Intuit. There's something that obviously crypto.
Bosco and Mater Day play down south.
Bosco Mater Day might be the best sporting event of all of them. Seriously, Bosco Mater Day might be the best game.
Yeah.
Is that the toughest ticket or Dodgers-Yankees Friday night?
Well, Dodgers-Yankees is
the Mater Day Bosco tickets are averaging like $950 a ticket,
right.
But the Dodger tickets are over 1,000.
1,000, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's a close second, though, by the way. Second.
Yeah. Kirk Morrison Mondays, every Monday here at 5:15 on Sedano and Cap. You're the man, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Appreciate it, man. Sedano and Cap after dark. I like it. That's how it started off.
There we go. You know.
Nocturnal emission. That should be the name of the show.
Yeah. That could be, you know what? When all of it, you know what we could do? When the sun starts to set, because we're about to change the time, then we can switch it to the Sedano and Cap nocturnal emission. There you go. But real quick, Cappy, coming up next, we've got Big Deal or No Deal, then Dealer's Choice. And then I got to do my fantasy draft with Trudell, who didn't help me at all by making this at 6 o'clock. So I'm basically stuck here at the office to do my fantasy.
That's all right.
draft.
While you're doing that, I'll be trying to figure out how to get ESPN Plus.
Yeah. By the way, Baker Mayfield and company leading 7-0 in the first quarter against the Baltimore Ravens. But first, parents choosing a dentist. We know it can be tough, man. Kids don't want to go to the dentist. You got to find someone who they can enjoy going to regarding the dentist, and that's not easy. But I got the answer for you. It's Children's Dental Fun Zone. Fun is in the name for a reason. Let me tell you about my friends at Children's Dental Fun Zone. First of all, you walk into any of the 18 locations, your kid's going to be like, where did we come to? This place looks like a cartoon movie. And that's exactly what it feels like. 18 locations across the Southland to choose from. So they got you covered in L.A. County. They got you covered in Orange County. They got you covered in the Inland Empire. They got you covered in Oxnard now, an 18th location in Oxnard. Children's Dental Fun Zone specializes in children's dentistry and orthodontics with state-of-the-art equipment and personal attention your kids deserve. And here's how they put fun in the name. Children's Dental Fun Zone. At every station, they got a big screen TV, and your kids can watch whatever kids' show or movie they want to watch. They got iPads for the kids, toys for the kids in the waiting area, and for parents, they accept Medi-Cal, PPO, and HMO insurance plans. So when your kids end up visiting Children's Dental Fun Zone, they're leaving. They're going to go, Mom, Dad, when are we coming back to the dentist at Children's Dental Fun Zone? Words you never thought you'd hear about the dentist. So to book your child's first or next appointment at Children's Dental Fun Zone, visit their website, cdfzone.com. That's cdfzone.com, or call them at 800-717-KIDS. That's 800-717-KIDS.
It's SUV month at Kia of Carson, and you can get sweet deals on the last of the 24 Tellurides and win a sweet night experience for you and 3 guests for just a test drive. Compliments of Kia of Carson and ESPN LA. We have great deals on our hybrids and plug-ins, as well as our all-electric models. So whether you decide to go with the Nero hybrid with an EPA estimated 53 mpg in the city or a rugged Telluride, we have the car and the deal for you all month at Kia of Carson. Visit KiaofCarson.com, or better yet, come test drive a new Kia for a chance to win a sweet experience.
Hey kids, Uncle Artie here from Pernia Law, here to tell you about a newer sponsorship deal with Matt Barnes, who has deep LA roots, former Bruin and pro basketball player for both LA teams.
If you're looking for the best possible results after an accident, call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Pernia Law. And there's never any upfront fees. They collect when you collect. And
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Listen to Travis and DeMarco to win the ultimate game day prize pack. VIP tailgate passes plus game day tickets. Listen to your cue to call and don't miss your chance to win the ultimate game day experience. Park, party, and play with me at Hollywood Park Casino. Must be 21 and older to enter.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
At Hollywood Park Casino, join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison this Thursday, October 24th, for their live Rams postgame show from Ray's Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and party with Travis, Kirk, and ESPN LA fans. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Enjoy a postgame meal and drink at Ray's Lounge right after the game. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game. Must be 21 and older.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN. It's 6:30 p.m. Big deal or no deal. Take it away, Sedano.
Thanks, Christopher. All right, Lindsay, you take it away.
All right.
Oh, by the way, real quick, actually. Catnap in the Sedano and Kap circle of trust says, make it a play on the fact that it's a radio show, guys. Sedano and Kap nocturnal transmission. I like it.
Instead of emission, transmission?
Yeah.
All right.
I like it better.
Not bad.
Yeah, because, I mean, the other way is not accurate, if you're being honest. You know what I mean? It would be a Sedano and Kap nocturnal transmission. If we weren't lazy around here and we did like a post-game show for the show,
right.
That would be the great name for it.
Yeah, we should start doing a post-game show.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
come on, man.
What?
You got out of crosstalk
No,
issue.
here's what we do.
Combo plates issue.
No,
You
here's
really
what we
wanna
do.
that?
Here's what we do. As soon as we go off the air, on days that we're together, we immediately open up the cameras and we do the backstage version of this is what happened when we got off the air. And that's what we should do.
We all know what you do. You go run to the bathroom or whatever.
Well, I mean, I've got to make a duty.
Yeah. All right, Cappy, let Lindsay go.
Go ahead, Linz.
Okay, just a quick one here for a big deal or no deal since we're running out of time. USC, we've been talking about them floundering once again over the weekend against Maryland. And apparently, USC has moved its football practice schedule around this week, and there will be no media viewing periods. That's right. They will have no media viewing all week long. They're closing off practice. Sorry you can't see anything because we got some secret going on here. Is this a big deal or no deal?
It's no deal. I mean, to me, like a lot of college coaches do this. It's kind of silly to me. Like I don't, whatever. But okay, whatever. It's not going to be the reason they win games. Like I don't think that you're not blaming the media seems silly, or keeping them out seems silly.
Yeah. On the other hand, this is when a coach is trying to use anything he can use, or she can use. In this case, he, because now Lincoln Riley goes to his team and he says, "Hey guys, we're eliminating all the distractions. There won't be any media here. Nobody's watching our practices. It's all about us." And now this just becomes like an internal rallying cry, And that's what he's.
So they not like us, is what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Is it like the equivalent to like the players only meeting, doors closed?
It is kind of like that. It's just it's look, hey guys, things haven't gone right. The media is killing us. Oh, by the way, because the media thought we were really good when we all thought we were really good when we beat LSU. And then we had Michigan beat, and that didn't work out. And now the gloves are off on the media. So now what Lincoln Riley is doing is saying, okay, they're not welcome here anymore because they're against us. And listen, whether it's true or it's false, you're just trying to use it as a motivational tool. So to me, it's no deal.
I got Mateo a bunch of, I had a coupon on my Nike app. Mm-hmm. For a bunch of percentages off on stuff, and you got to do it because it was basically for my birthday, so it expires the next month, so it expires at Halloween. So I said, hey bud, look at all these shirts. Which one do you want? I'll order them for you. And so it's a bunch of college shirts, some dry fits or whatever. And one of the ones he picked was USC.
You pick a Pitt shirt?
He did not. It wasn't available.
Teach your kids.
I don't think they're a Nike school, are they?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's just Nike schools. I think Pitt is Adidas, isn't it?
I don't know.
No. So USC's in there. Georgia, Duke, Oregon State is in there. Oregon, obviously. So he picked a bunch of them, right? And so he had sports day, and he wanted to wear a football shirt, he said. So because I said, well, you want to wear a Dodgers shirt? He's like, nah, I want to wear a football shirt. So I'm like, which one do you want to pick? And he goes, I'm going to pick Georgia. And I said, why? Why don't you pick USC? And he goes, they lost.
He gets it.
And I was like, whoa. So even 6-year-olds are bailing on them right now.
Pretty bad.
Well, guess what? Good news for him is he's not welcome at practice anymore because he's a member of the media.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mateo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till he starts his podcast.
Then he's really screwed.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, what do you got?
That's it for Big Deal or No Deal.
That's it? Come on, man.
Well, we got to go, bro.
I love Big Deal or No Deal.
Well, we got to go, bro.
All right, well, then let's go, bro, and let's have Lindsay tell us about Stella Rosa, and then we'll go, bro.
Go celebrate, Linz.
Okay, guys, so gear up for your next game day. Hang with Stella Rosa. You know by now there's nothing sweeter than trying the new exciting flavors from Stella Rosa's spicy series on game day. This past weekend, I tried the new Stella Rosa lime and chili to go with the sweet and spicy wings that I had at halftime, and they paired perfectly. So next time you shop before game day, head to your local retailer and grab a couple bottles of your favorite Stella Rosa wine. And get this, Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. All you have to do is head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa. And remember to celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Hey, it's Mace. There's a lot on the line in this election, from protecting the Social Security you've earned to supporting family caregivers. And you have the power to make the candidates listen, because voters 50 and over decide elections. That's why AARP California has created an election guide with the most up-to-date information about when, where, and how to vote. Get trusted election information at aarp.org/CA votes. That's aarp.org/CA votes. Paid for by AARP.
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's premier card room. Now open 24/7. Play no-bus blackjack, poker, and more. Enjoy Century Bar and Grill's flavorful menu for lunch or late-night dinners. Watch your favorite teams and catch up with friends on game days. Unwind and enjoy live music and crafted cocktails at Ray's Lounge. Easy parking and access, Hollywood Park Casino, located next door to the Forum and SoFi Stadium. Park, party, and play. Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game.
Must be 21 and older to enter. These are approved DOJ games. Geico 004527. Geico 003871.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Just like in sports, you can never predict an accident. It will come when you least expect it. Travis Rogers here with DeMarco Farr to tell you about our friend, Joseph S. Normand.
If you're in any accident, call Joseph at 213-747-2000. The team at Normand Legal is ready to help you and achieve the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Joseph at 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000, the law office of Joseph S. Normand.
Inspired by Southern California's laid-back yet active lifestyle, Travis Matthew creates premium men's and women's apparel designed to make you look and feel your best no matter the activity. Now, Travis Matthew brings that same style to USC fans with their first ever collegiate collaboration. Designed with the iconic Cardinal and Gold, this collection carries the tradition and legacy of USC. Gear up for game days in style. New customers get 20% off their first order with code 710 at travismatthew.com. That's code 710. Offer valid online only.
The Harim Foundation is inviting you to join us and ESPN Radio at our charity golf tournament, Monday, October 28th at the San Gabriel Country Club, to raise funds for scholarships. To date, we've given $138,000 in assistance, and we want to give more. Go to harimfoundation.org and click the banner at the top. Join the likes of Nomar, Sean Green, Mickey Hatcher, and others. Tune in to ESPN 710 for all the fun on the 28th. harimfoundation.org and click the banner at the top. See you there.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Orthodontics are teaming up this fall because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. This can be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, a youngster who brightens your day. Tell us who's smiling and you could win some awesome prizes like sweet tickets from ESPN LA, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, and a grand prize of Invisalign from Beverly Hills Ortho. Enter now at ESPNLA.com and remember you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Orthodontics.
Halloween is just around the corner, but Huluween is here. Hulu is the streaming home to fresh fall releases that'll creep under your skin, like Immaculate starring Sydney Sweeney, FX's American Horror Stories, the new thriller film Hold Your Breath starring Sarah Paulson, and FX's chilling horror thriller Grotesquerie. So snuggle into your couch with a pumpkin spice latte and watch all your scary favorites. Turn your Halloween into Huluween and stream till you scream on Hulu.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Final segment of the show, Cappy. What happened to Morales? He was doing imaging earlier and then stopped doing it. So, kind of interesting the way that worked out, huh? He just basically did imaging to take a quick swipe at you.
Pretty much.
Which, by the way, tomorrow he'll be in here for Live Imaging Tuesday. And we got a surprise. We're going to let you know what's in the box, suckers.
And then once we unveil what's in the box, at that point, I may have to do what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? I may have to do the deed.
Yeah. Hey, what's after us today?
Trojans Live, which is pretty. I'm pretty sure it's what Chris is working on.
And then what's on after that?
Lakers Talk with AK.
Oh, with AK, and that's at 7.
Correct.
All right.
Cappy, how's that getting the game on going for you?
It's not going well at all. I've been trying to get an ESPN Plus account, but it's not going well for me.
Hold on. Get Andy Kamenetsky in here. Hold on. Andy, get in here. I want to ask Andy something when you're done with your dealer's choice. Go ahead.
All right, let me go with my dealer's choice. Here goes. Dealer's Choice Real Deal is brought to you by Seller's Advantage. If you want to sell your house, before you call an agent, call Seller's Advantage. They'll buy it with an as-is competitive cash offer, no repairs needed. They make selling easy. Call 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer or visit sellersadvantage.com. DRE number 01961658. Okay, listen to me. So as I watch sporting events, it's the only television that I watch. If Andy Kamenetsky's sitting down, tell him to put on headphones.
He's plugging his headphones
because I want him to hear this.
Yeah.
The only TV commercials that I see are on live sporting events.
Right.
Okay.
So, right, it's why you thought Louis Riddick was doing some Home Depot commercial or something, and you thought it was being broadcast to the entire country, and I had to tell you, I love your boy Lou, but that's only on like ESPN and ABC when there's games on.
Right. It's a Geico commercial.
It's not
He's
like
sitting there
on
with
when
the
like
caveman.
it was Geico.
And he
right.
was getting billions for it.
Right. You
No,
thought
not
he was
billions,
getting
hundreds of millions.
Right. You thought he was getting hundreds of millions, and you
Right.
thought he was on like with the Today Show or something.
Right.
You know, like Good Morning America.
So here's the thing about TV commercials. I don't really see them very often.
Right.
And sometimes when I do, I'm interested, even though I've never done or been to what they're advertising. So
Right,
in this
right,
particular case, let me ask everybody a quick question.
Yeah.
No offense to one of our great partners, but when was the last time you went to McDonald's?
Well, I just don't eat a lot of fast food these days, so I think it's been. I mean, I took my kids probably like I don't know within the last year or so at one point. Sure.
DeAndre, when was the last time you ate McDonald's?
It's been a little bit.
Okay. Lindsay Baseball, you go to McDonald's?
Which is a great sponsor here on 710.
Yes, they are.
You
They're
know
a great
what
partner.
I love about McDonald's?
Tell
I
me.
love when my nephew collects the Happy Meal toys, or at least he used to.
Yeah.
And we used to drive all over just getting the Happy Meal toys.
Yeah. So what's the point?
Here's
Cappy?
the point.
Yeah.
There is a commercial right now for McDonald's.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Here is the point, Andy Kamenetsky.
Mark Cates is like cursing Cappy's
No,
name.
no,
right
you
now.
guys don't understand what I'm about to say.
Okay, go ahead.
There is a TV commercial for McDonald's right now. Are you guys aware of the Chicken Big Mac?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
I just saw that.
Okay.
commercial.
Okay. I haven't had a Big Mac in so long. And honestly, here's what I'm on the verge of doing. I'm on the verge of getting a Big Mac, 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and the sesame seed bun. And I'm contemplating getting the Chicken Big Mac at the same time. And then I'm going to do a Big Mac off. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to try the original Big Mac, which I haven't had in ages.
Right.
And then I'm going to try the Chicken Big Mac because I'm going to tell you something right now. That Chicken Big Mac, it looks effing phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
I have heard an urban legend. I do not know if this is true or not, but that you can actually order. This is before they came up with this, or they're putting out this new McChicken Big Mac. That you could actually order like a mixed up McChicken Big Mac.
Oh wow! So you get one patty of each.
Yeah, like the equivalent. You know how the secret In-N-Out menu.
Yeah.
Again, this may just be urban legend. Do not go to your McDonald's and expect this, but I've heard before that you can order the mixed up. So
Okay. I've never heard of this before, but when I saw a TV commercial for a Chicken Big Mac, I went, "Oh my God, I got to try that."
There you go.
But I got to try both.
Okay.
So tomorrow, George, I'll just say this right now. Be ready. I may DoorDash Big Macs and Chicken Big Macs so that we can do a taste test comparison on the air.
Sounds
phenomenal.
Cappy. By the way, Payman tweets us in the Sedano and Kap Circle of Trust that they just played Eminence Front on Monday Night Football.
You're damn right they did.
Andy, I am doing a fantasy draft with your brother, interestingly enough.
Oh, God, that league.
Yeah, with Trudell, the little dictator.
Yeah.
And he made it for 6 o'clock, so I can't go home and do it. I got to do it here. So I'm going to be sitting in here with you. But I feel like since you'll be here, you should advise me just to stick it to your brother.
Yeah. Oh, I'm down for him losing money.
There
Absolutely.
you go. There you go. So we'll have that happen. Cappy, it has been a fun Monday. A lot of stuff we covered, particularly the Dodgers mostly, but we got in the football. And again, Lakers Talk is coming up right after Trojans Live, right?
7 to 9 tonight. I'll be talking with John Krasinski from The Athletic, previewing Lakers Wolves, and then Dave Patel, who is going to be starting, I believe, next week, doing Lakers postcasts as part of the Locked On Lakers or the Locked On Podcast Network.
Right. Yeah.
So talking with
John
him as well.
Krasinski, by the way,
So good.
one of the best NBA beat writers in all of the sport. He's
There's
incredible.
Nobody in the league covers a team
As well
better
as
than
he
him.
does. Yeah,
Yep.
I would agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I think that basically take our best guys, who do beats, McMiniman, is in that conversation. John is equally as good as any of those guys. Yes, I would agree.
Just got a text from my brother to me and you,
Yeah.
George. F you both.
Okay. Hey, listen.
He's right.
Yeah, well,
he's right.
You know what?
I'm with you, Brian.
Hey, he's here. I might as well utilize the Magnum brain over there. So
I got to
there we
say, I'm with B-Cam right now.
Hey,
I'm not with A-Cam right
Cappy,
now.
we got to go, okay?
Let's go.
And
Let's
I
get
got to
outta
tell
here.
everybody about Jacob. Listen, it was announced a while back. Jacob, a proud partner of the LA Rams, who had a big win against the Raiders this weekend. And if you're at a Rams game, you saw Jacob. Not only was he at the game, he's on the Jumbotron. He's popping on. You see Jacob, like all of us, big sports fan here in LA, loves Los Angeles, and wants what's best for Angelino. So if you happen to be involved in an accident, wasn't your fault, call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB. Jacob's a passionate LA fan. Call him at 844-24-JACOB if you get in any kind of accident. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. So if you're down in the dumps after an accident, It's not third and long, man. Call Jacob. He'll take care of you at 844-24-JACOB, 844-24-JACOB, or visit him online at calljacob.com.
Hey, guys, it's Cap.